Reality versus what if. Body food back. Untouchables in the building. Truth, it's hard. Faith on the left, logic on the right. Tonight we find out who's wrong or who's right. Oh. They say put the ring on, build a life on a vow, but reality don't match the dream somehow. Families break, courts take, men wake up with half their soul at stake. Coach said don't jump in that fire. Wilson said God's still higher. Both preaching truth, both wired, but the middle ground's getting tired. In a world that profits when love goes blind, every promise got a price behind. So tell me what's the plan, what's the fix? Faith or facts, code or tricks? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. To the Mormons, make it work in that town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. To the Mormons, make it work in that town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Yeah. Super panel got the truth unzipped. Untouchable empire, no script. It's love, faith, money, and risk. Reality versus what if. They say go back to the church, go home, but the algorithm already took the throne. Small towns win, big cities bleed. Tradition's a dream and nobody leaves. Faith versus logic, clash of the creed. One says build, the other says leave, but every side's got ghosts to grieve. No one's clean, no one's free. You can't fix hearts with hashtags. You can't save love with flashbacks. Every side talks truth and then stats, but who's living what they preach in their chats? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. You're the Mormons, make it work in their town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Reality versus what if, who's real, who's ripped? Every solution got a twist pending. Untouchable empire, no cap, no myth. Super panel, we live this.
The content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
Welcome to the Untouchable Super Panel with Ilkan Ali and Fatty. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What you're seeing right now with the men is a response to your radicalization. So to try to project that onto us is absolutely ridiculous. And the men are not behaving the way they're behaving right now because they can't keep up. They're behaving the way they're behaving because you broke the social contract.
You're having a conversation in bad faith. Did you say women are children? Did you say women are children? No.
Look at the construction industry, it's 99%, 98% men. But when you're talking about cooking, right, the reason, and by the way, it wasn't mostly women who did cooking, it was just mostly women who stayed at home who did cooking. That's why it's considered a traditional family role. It's part of the whole child rearing aspect.
So you know that you're here because of your father? Because men determine the sex of the baby? Did you know that?
Can we just say, if we're doing men versus women, like, women have infinitely more options. If you download a dating app, like, even grandmas get like thousands of matches.
Right.
And I understand that, like, sexual attention isn't the same as relationship attention, but out of 1,000, one will take her seriously.
You wasn't putting it down mentally. You don't know how to touch her without touching her. You wasn't putting it down sexually, and you wasn't putting it down financially.
Well, we
So yes.
But these women literally get to walk out the house looking like it's Halloween every day, but want to look down on you and tell you how you look. Bitch, I look like my 8th grade picture. You don't look like your 8th day old picture. You go on a lot of these women's Instagram pages, it look like 30 different on there. Somebody tell me I'm lying.
It's not that she's so awesome and intelligent and everybody missed out and you just so happen to walk up on a flower. Yeah, she's lying to you.
Right.
But these women saw you. When these women saw you, she already wanted you before you even open your mouth. Like Ali said, you didn't convince her to nothing. There's the male ego.
It's time to do. Welcome everybody to another super untouchable panel. First off, I want to thank all the panelists for coming through tonight. Your time, your insight, and your honesty means a lot to us. And of course, big thanks to everybody in the chat and all our supporters who always make this possible every single time. If you're tuning in right now, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps beat the algorithm, keep us bringing these powerful and raw conversations to the people. Let's have a great intentional discussion tonight. Like I said before, we might not all agree on everything, but one thing we can do is respect each other. So let's keep it honest, and let's keep it untouchable. I also like to introduce the guests that's coming in tonight. You already know Mika. Thank you so much for coming through. My brother Raphael, Miss Lucy, Mr. Jonathan, Angele, and yours truly, Mr. Fatty, as well too. So hopefully we have a great discussion. And hopefully we share great perspectives. The first question that I want to ask today, before we get to the hot topic, is: do women like when men tell them the truth, or do women like when men actually lie to them? And we'll start with Mika, and we'll go around.
So women do like for men to lie because usually the lie sounds better. But it's better to tell the truth. I always think men should tell women the truth. Now, I know men will say the opposite because they don't want to, ruin the chance. But it's better to tell them the truth because a lot of the times women will go. They will go with what you want to do. They have all types of women. But I think you should tell women the truth. But women do want you to lie to them because it usually is a little more appealing.
Carl, how about you, my brother Raphael?
Yeah, so in my life, it's always worked to tell the truth just because I'm either going to get what I want or I'm not, and I'm going to get my answer quickly. So I like to tell women what I'm interested in, what I'm looking for, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, then we're not the right match. And so everyone gets what they want quicker with honesty, in my opinion.
Okay. Angele, do you think it's better women like it better when men tell them the truth or when men lie to them?
I feel like they say they like it better when they tell the truth, but secretly I feel like they like it better when they lie, depending on how much they like the guy and where they are, like if they just met them.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Jonathan?
Yeah, I would probably have to say when it's convenient, the truth is the best, but when it's inconvenient, I would say people probably like to be lied to, sadly.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to you, Mr. Jonathan. How about you, Lucy? You think it's the truth or the lie that women enjoy?
I mean, I'm one for the truth. I'm gonna say, here's what it is. And if I were on a date, to be fair, I haven't dated a lot. Okay, I've had 2 committed partners, one for 18 years and the other one for the past couple of years, who this baby I had with. And if right off the bat, it was like, look, this is what it is. I'm not gonna date for fun. I'm not a casual dater. Like if you're taking a whole package deal or not. And if I was on a date with someone and they said, you know what, I am a psychopathic killer, I'd be like, cool, thank you for your honesty. This date is over.
So women don't like
I prefer
killers.
that.
Some do.
Women don't like killers.
Some do. I would say the vast majority don't. I'd say the vast majority do not.
Okay. Do you think a woman would prefer a dangerous man or a nice man?
A little combo.
If she had to pick, would she rather be with a dangerous guy or a nice guy?
I would imagine a nice guy.
Oh, over a dangerous guy.
No, but look, a man who knows what he's capable of and still chooses to contain that. Because
Oh, that's
that
good.
is the kind of protectorship that she wants. And we don't like nice guys. We don't like, what's that word? The simp?
I try to tell
who has
men
an
this all the
integrity,
time.
not
I told you.
a nice guy.
So
I
if
interpret dangerous as even dangerous to the partner, but I gotcha.
so Angela, if they don't like the nice guy and the guy that's pushover, then why do they want the guy that does anything for them?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
So women say they don't like simps, they don't
Mhm.
like pushovers, they don't like men they can run over. Then why is it when a man is actually leading, women make it so hard for that man to lead?
I think because they're just not used to it.
You think they're
I
not
mean,
used to it?
yeah. Like, a lot of women haven't grown up with the fathers in their home. They're not sure what that really looks like.
No. I'm saying if it's a woman's nature not to like a pushover and the guy that doesn't have a backbone, why do women push back on the guy that puts his foot down? Like we can say it's
No,
the father.
it's just
We can like
stubbornness.
we going to the father, but I thought I thought she liked the guy that puts his foot down.
No,
Women
not
like a
when
guy
it's
with self-respect for sure, but yeah, I mean that they definitely want somebody who respects themselves.
Women are
Well, I
going to
also think
test.
it's about out of the home that women like a man to lead, but inside the home, it kind of speaks to the traditional values. But the reality is that men come into the home and they've got to be there to protect harmony and the peace, not bring that threat that they're protecting our family from the outside world. We're not meant to bring it on the inside world. What we're meant to do, and I kind of use this analogy, but lions, like when they go and attack prey, they always go for the testicles and the scrotum of the animal that they're trying to kill. But that lion can't be on guard and protect his own genitalia all day, every day. So he's got to come home and he's got to spread his legs and he's completely exposed. And that's what a man is meant to do, is he's meant to soften in the home and give that woman the space to take the leadership role. Now that is,
But that's why it's curious to me, because typically when I see a strong and assertive man, I mean good man too, he's not a toxic man, the women will say he's controlling. And they'll call him toxic for being assertive. But if he doesn't have no backbone and he's a pushover, then they'll say he's enabling. I don't want no weak man. So we're still trying to figure out, if y'all can help us too, perspective wise, and even if it comes from the women first, or if the brothers have any perspective, what actually makes a woman happy? A guy who says we're going to go this way and he's assertive, you're going to do it my way, or a guy that does it your way, but then he's being called enabling. It's confusing to a lot of guys. So what would you? Go ahead, Mika, and then we go to Lucy and Angela, and then the brothers.
I would say it's equivalent to this. Have you ever seen the moms in the mall with the little leashes on the children? And they can go a little far. And then when they get too far, they yank them back, right? Women want to be able to move a little bit. They want to be able to do what they want. But if you let them do too much, they view you as weak, that you won't put your foot down. They'll still walk over you. But if you pull them back a little bit and say, no, we're not doing this, then there's a buildup of respect there, because she understands that you're not going to play with her, right? So there's they don't want you to hover over them. And I hate to use this analogy, but it's like children. Like children want to be able to play and do different things, but you have to have structure. So you have to be able to let a woman be free to be a woman, but you still have to have parameters, because if you don't, not only do you look weak to her, you look weak to the rest of the family, right? And then and any man that you can just run over, they will, and then they lose respect for you. So even if you hear a woman say controlling, well, a good woman won't even use that word, but let's just say you hear a woman say he's controlling because he's telling you what to do, or he's telling you can't do this and can't do that. That is a man that actually cares about you, because a man that doesn't care about you will let you just do whatever, because he doesn't plan on being with you anyway.
So I'm gonna take your perspective, and I'm gonna say the three women on this panel is special like that. Like if you put your foot down and you say you ain't doing this, they're gonna go, yes, baby. You don't want me to do that, I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna ask Angela and Lucy, is the woman in society, the general populace of women. If you tell her no, and she still wants to do what she wants, and you keep her from doing what she wants, is she typically going to honor her man? Go, man, I got a strong, dominant man, or is she typically going to walk out that relationship? Today's modern women.
I mean, the women of today, I feel like no. Can agree with what Mika said, but I also think that sometimes women think that they know what they want, but they don't really understand what that is. Like they might say they want a man to protect them in certain things, but if she's about to walk outside looking crazy and he says, listen, baby, I don't think you should go outside wearing that outfit, even if he didn't come at her crazy, she's still gonna take it as, are you trying to tell me what to do? Because she hasn't seen it, she doesn't really know what it looks like. You know, so
how about you, Lucy? She's staying, she's gonna go, you know what, babe, you don't want me to do that? I'll listen to you. Or she go, you controlling, and she's going to exit the relationship if he tells her no. The modern woman, typically, not you, Lucia, Angela, and Mika, is the modern woman typically going to leave if a man tells her no? Is she delayed? Lucy, are you delayed? She might be delayed a little bit.
yeah, I
Well,
think
till she
so.
comes
There's
back,
gonna be a pushback.
I'll go to my brother Jonathan and then my brother Raphael. My brother Jonathan, if you tell a woman no in today's modern dating time, is she gonna say, Jonathan, tell a woman, I have a strong man. He told me no, I'm gonna honor him and I'm gonna respect that. He put his foot down. Or do you think most modern women are saying, you ain't gonna tell me no but a couple of times? That's control and I'm leaving.
You know, I would just tell men to stand firm in your leadership and stand firm in what you believe and what your core values are. And yeah, of course, I can't tell my wife what she wears outside, but you know, she wears a bunch of outfits that I don't agree with outside. I don't know if she'll be my wife for long, right? Like we have agency in relationships, and we really got to be asking ourselves, what message are we sending each other? So are you the only woman that lives in my mind? Am I the only man that occupies real estate in yours? These are the questions that we want to answer and get aligned on. And when we agree that, yes, we have a covenant of fidelity, transparency, trust, all of that, and that's what we want, those are the core values in our marriage and our relationship, then, you know, you get on the same page and you're rowing in the same direction. But if it's a power struggle, maybe not the best relationship to stay in the first place. If you can't,
of
you know,
course,
when you have kids, can you agree on what clothes to wear to which function? You know, I don't know that that's probably the best place to start with someone, but.
Of course, but I'm asking you. So I would think you brothers, and I think my brother may be like that too. Typically in relationships, most men are saying yes. There ain't a lot of no's that's coming out. That relationship typically ain't gonna work if the man ain't saying yes, baby. You want to watch Notebook? Yes, baby. You want to go to Walmart and Target and wherever place you want to shop? Yes, baby. You want that from Amazon? Yes, baby. What I'm asking is, and if he stops paying bills, if he stops protecting, if he's unequipped, if he becomes abusive, there's things that's going to end that relationship, right? If he's not doing his part in the relationship. What I would hope
abusive would.
Yeah, of course. What I'm asking is, typically in a relationship, if a man is starting to tell his woman no, and she still wants to do what she wants to do, is she typically going to respect the no, or she's going to exit the relationship?
My take on this is, like, I wouldn't tell my woman
just
no.
real quick for Jonathan, and then you, Raphael. Is the modern woman typically going to stay with her man for saying no, or is she going to honor his no?
I don't think she would leave. I think she would stay. I think it's going to be a long-term power struggle that they'll get into, but I don't think she'll necessarily leave when they're based on good values. I don't like you wearing that outfit. I don't want you spending money this way. You know, I don't think people leave generally those relationships, because at the very least, he's still sending a message that he cares about her. I'd be more concerned if he stopped saying no, which really, as someone alluded to earlier, then he doesn't care about her, and then she's going to leave anyway, because she's not going to feel seen, chosen, cherished as the way she wants to be, right? So no, okay. I'd be happy power struggling. I wouldn't power struggle over, say, flirtatious texts or DMs or friend requests. You know, like that stuff's off limits. Don't do that. We need a relationship bubble. That's where we belong. I wouldn't power struggle over that stuff. But I mean, if you went back and forth for years about parenting and money and stuff like that, I mean, I think that's pretty normal for couples. But
okay. How about you, Raphael? What do you think the modern woman is going to respect your no, or is she typically going to leave?
I don't know. I think it's how you communicate it. I think if you tell your woman no like a child, I don't think that's going to go over too well. But I think if you say, hey, I don't appreciate you wearing that out, it's disrespectful, and you have that conversation and you let her know that's a boundary you don't like being crossed and that you're willing to walk away, I think is the important part. That I think that's the respect, that you're not willing to be walked over and you have certain boundaries. But I think telling somebody no, like their child, I think it's more like a communication thing.
Okay. So, okay, let me ask you this. Angela, it seemed like they disagreeing with you because Angela is saying that modern women will leave. You're saying they won't. Can you tell me, Jonathan and
'Cause I feel
Raphael,
like it's just like a continuous thing. She will leave.
if she is saying no, if she is not cooperating, how can a man in modern times get that woman to cooperate if she's not willing to cooperate with you outside of leaving? Because we would attest that a lot of men can't even lead in relationships because there's not really nothing they can do to redirect what's going on in a relationship. And the only thing men tell them in today's space is leave. If she's not listening, leave. So if he's the actual leader, what do you think the best route a man can go to remain in a relationship to correct his woman and redirect his woman to remain in the relationship so he doesn't create a broken family? Like what advice could you give the men to correct? How can they correct their woman in their relationship if they're the leader?
To me, I'd bait and switch her, to be honest.
And how would you do that?
So when someone's pushing back against something that you want, it means that there's friction there, right? Mm-hmm. And it's my belief that we need to unlock them, like their heart, their buy-in, their agreement, their mind. So if you're getting pushback in one area, drop that like a hot potato and then switch over to something else to try and send a different message to them that you matter to me, I care about you, you're important, I see you, right? So the way I see it is, if you fill a bucket with a fire hose and it leaks a little bit out of the bottom, who gives a shit that it's leaking? What you care about is you're filling it with a fire hose, right? So pour that love, that energy, that effort into the other parts of the relationship. And the odds are she's not going to care about the small things that you guys are arguing about.
But how would like, for example, if someone brought up the outfit, if she says no, and that means something to a man, how would he redirect and get his woman to start dressing the way he would like if she doesn't want to change her outfit and she wants to continue to dress the way she's dressed? Let's say she's dressing revealing and she says she's doing it for herself. How would you offer helpful assistance to a man to redirect her and help him correct her?
Best question would be, I'd ask her what message she's trying to send me, right? When she's out dressing like that, like, is this a message that I need to be receiving, that I'm not important? Are you looking for attention, from other men? What am I supposed to take away from this? And if you think this is a good idea, when we have our daughter, should I be raising her or our son? Let's take our son. So we have a son together. What message would we want his wife sending him? Right. Okay. So that's a very good way to really kind of pierce through that layer to get through to their, thinking about what message they're sending when they're dressing that way.
Okay. How about you, Raphael? How would you redirect her?
Well, I wouldn't call it correction. I mean, that's an adult. They can make their own decisions. I would say communication. Hey, this is what it's doing to me. And at a certain point, I'm not going to tolerate this. I agree with Jonathan about why are you doing this? Like, help me understand why this is something you're so insistent on, even though it bothers me. And I would have honest communication. Again, if you have boundaries and someone's going to continue to disrespect you, you're going to have to be willing to walk away. But I don't think there's a correction that can be done. That's an adult with full agency.
Okay.
And if I could say something about that, I think the message that a lot of men get when a woman were to seek attention from other men is that he's essentially not good enough for her. And a man who doesn't see himself as good enough doesn't actually see himself as successful. And every single man I know wants to see himself as successful because it's so tied to his identity that he's a good man. A man that's not successful will think he's somehow broken, flawed, and it's an identity piece, right? That's why it hurts men so much.
But do you see how advice just goes strictly to the men in society? There's no advice, like only we can personally try to give him advice, but there's no advice going to the woman and how they should dress or conduct themselves in society.
I thought you were asking for the males.
No. Of course. No, of course. But even if you went to the woman, who would essentially give the woman advice? Do you think society, that's why I'm asking this. So it might have came out the wrong way, but in society, she would be endorsed to continue to dress how she wants to, and it's empowering. She'd be endorsed to do what she wants to do versus a man telling her what to do. It'd be controlling. Like a lot of the women would come to her with a different. So if you came to your woman saying that, hey, I'd want you to conduct yourself in a certain manner for our children, do you think majority of women would tell her, hey, you should listen to him as well too? Or would they say, hey, he's being controlling. That's kind of toxic. Like, you should be able to dress how you want to dress. Do you feel like that she would get a different message from society and from her friends versus what the man that loves her tells her?
Yeah, I think they would. I think they would absolutely get a different message from women. And it's not that there aren't women that would correct her, right? It's just that women don't listen to anybody. I had a whole podcast episode called "You Can't Correct Them." You cannot tell them anything. You can't say nothing, right? And it's because when men say it, it's misogynistic. When women say it, you're male identified, you're male centered, you're pick me, whatever, right? And the thing about it is, there can be women that don't even dress that way, right? They will still not say anything because they want that leeway just in case. So if they ever are in that space, they will also say, well, they will also get the benefit of the doubt of saying, well, I can dress that way. So you'll have women that don't, aren't in any of those situations, but they won't say anything because they want that as well. So if you take that off the table and they get there one day, now it's not open for them. So that's why those type of women don't say anything. And then you have the women like me who say stuff, and then, they come for me and say, you're not a girl's girl and blah, blah, blah. But I'm the biggest girl's girl because I want us to win. And so I don't tell you the things that are going to take away from you, have you wasting your time and spinning in circles. I'm actually going to tell you what actually benefits you. But society doesn't want them to do that. So they're used to hearing the nonsense and the stuff that doesn't get them to where they want to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Angela, what do you think? Like, do you think that most of what women are telling women today is beneficial for them, or is counterproductive to what they're telling them? Is it going against what can go to families and the man, or is it counterproductive? It actually puts them in a position where they're losing the people they love and it's compromising them. Because I know what I do notice is this: I rarely hear men come on panels and say they're on a self-love journey. They're looking for themselves. They're broken. They're healing. They're 40 years old, still healing. 55 years old. Say, hey, Jonathan, how you doing, man? Hey, brother, I'm healing. Jonathan told me he was working out. He came from the gym. He's living his best life. He's doing whatever he can.
Maybe more men say that.
Right. But if women are doing so good without men, if women are they're lit all by doing it big all by themselves, and they're such boss babes, why is it so many women coming back saying they're traumatized, they got PTSD, they're healing, they're broken, they're healing, like making their own decisions?
Yeah, it's because the advice that society and women are giving them is extremely wrong. Like I always say, I'm not a girl's girl, I'm a woman's woman. Okay, like I'm gonna tell my friends to be honest with them, because I go out, me and my husband, we go out a lot, even with somebody I know. She came out, I said, why are you coming in here dressed like a stripper? Like I understand that, we going out, we're gonna have fun, but it's, some certain things are for certain things. She just laughed me off, but I'm honest with my friends. Like I'm gonna tell them, like, listen, a little too much. I love you anyway, but next time we'll put it together. But it's very counterproductive.
But Lucy, what do you think? I know you've been listening. Do you still got a lid? Can you hear us now? Okay, you good now.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I good? Okay. I don't know what is happening, but we're in Peru now. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to take it back to the bit about just kind of correcting another adult, because let's be real, most adults in the world are essentially 5-year-olds in grown-up bodies. So they don't have the awareness, the consciousness, the maturity to even actually connect and know, hey, do we have a shared vision for this relationship, for this life? Because if we do, we can always return to that and connect in that. And then it doesn't become this ego battle of like, no, I want to wear this. No, but I don't like it. No, like that's not even the real issue. Let's go deeper. Why For me, because I work primarily with women and also with couples, I would ask a woman, what is your intention? More so than how do you want others to see you, or how do you want to look to men? Because then we're still just only centering the men experience. Are you looking for validation? Do you not feel good enough? Are you kind of trying to reconcile your father wound, right? The daddy stuff that didn't get, let's be real, this is common, by letting all these men validate you? Or are you just expressing yourself and how you're feeling in this moment through this archetype outfit, whatever? And so I would call it out, because it's what I call this like distortion of feminine expression. And that can go both ways. But I think if there is a deeper trust and a bigger vision for a relationship, we can have these conversations and it doesn't become a power struggle. We can say, hey, this is how I feel when you wear that, and be honest and vulnerable. And then she has to not fucking weaponize that when he's vulnerable with her. So this is a lot of layers. I can go everywhere.
That's facts. My brother Fatty, what do you think about this conversation, my brother? What do you believe? Do you think women in modern times, you think they enjoy the men lying to them, or you think they want the truth from men?
How are you guys doing? Trying to understand woman is a waste of time. It's like saying, is the city of Chicago hot or cold? It depends on the season. If you go there on the summer, it's hot. If you go there on winter, it's freezing cold. They want liars in one season. They want honest men in one season. They want men that play in the middle so they can have plausible deniability in another season. They want men that are controlled in some seasons, men that let them do what they want in other seasons. They want jealous men, but they are not too jealous. But they want clingy men. They're not too clingy. Like, understanding woman is a complete waste of time. You will always try to chase. It is the dog chasing the buzz. The day that you are going to run 1,000 days after the buzz, and the day you finally catch him, you have no idea what to do with the buzz. You have no idea. The dog is going to chase it, and once he gets the buzz, he has no idea what to do with it. So this is the reality of modern woman, and I believe older woman too. They just add some mechanisms that kind of restrain this indecisiveness. But for the most part, they love what they love. They love liars in some seasons. They love nice guys in other seasons. Love bad boys in other seasons. You will never uh, uh, get a woman through predisposition. You just get a snapshot and a picture of how she used to move 3 years ago, 1 year ago, today. So is a waste of time for men to try to understand women and what they want, because everything they want is right now. Tomorrow they'll buy a pair of shoes, and then they'll say, "This is the last one I'm going to buy." And then in 3 weeks they go through a store and they see another one they want and they buy it again. So it's not the last time. It was just the last time right now.
Athena, what do you think about? Of course, Jonathan.
I love how you put it as seasons. I just think that, at least like in my vision, men are consistent in their not knowing what they want, though. So whereas women can be consistent and inconsistent, consistent and inconsistent, I find a lot of men just generally don't know what they want, and they can spend 30 years searching for it, even though if they've committed to a woman. They're still the ones on. It's not women that are making OnlyFans blow up to be the highest revenue per employee company in the US, right? That's men. And
Yes,
so
but
I just think that we can't oversimplify and just, say that women are the
Of course.
inconsistent ones. Men are just consistently inconsistent.
So men always like big booties and big titties. They are very consistent with that. Since they are 15 until they are 67, they always will like it. They will just suppress that because they have better things to do in life. You know who actually is very indecisive? All these top earners, OnlyFans models, like, for example, Mia Khalifa, like, for example, Lana Rhodes, that have catalogs of hundreds of videos. And once they get $1 billion and they want to get married, they are demanding everybody to delete the videos because they don't want their kids to watch that on the internet. Respectfully, men are very simple and very consistent. There's no woman that marries a man and thinks, my man doesn't like attractive woman anymore. He doesn't look at attractive woman anymore. He's just suppressing their woman for whatever reason. Once again, If you meet them at 21, 31, and 41, it looks like you're talking with a different person that came from Mars, from Earth, and from planet Namek. You don't like they don't correlate with each other because different times for a woman before getting married, after getting married, while they are pregnant, after they have kids, menopause, postpartum depression, they are not the same even chemically from day to day basis. So you're not going to find the same woman if you wait long enough. In my opinion, even though there's a lot of men that don't know what to do, you're probably right. I don't think he compares with women. I think more women know about men than men know about women.
But men can like big booties. But if he's got one at home, what is he? Why is he so inconsistent that he needs to see all different big booties from different women? Right. So he can
blind himself
in his like of big. I like ballerina bodies. My wife. I'm an ass man. My wife is incredible. She's perfect body type. It's all I need. It's all I look at. And so we can be consistent in what we like. But if you've got it at home, why are you looking for it and trying to find an inconsistent, a new booty to look at day in, day out?
Because
right?
because men like variety. The same way a woman has attention from her husband, and she still wants attention from other men, like Aisha Curry a couple of days ago talking about these, like or Ciara dancing in front of everybody and try like these. We are very predictable. Your man will still enjoy looking at other gorgeous women. Your woman will still enjoy get nice attention from her friends and the people watching on Instagram once she buys a new car, gets a new bag, or is dressed in a certain way. Like we are not asking women to not feel what they feel. If you feel like you need attention from other people, do it on a classy way. Like you're going to feel that you are going to actually have this positive reinforcement from people that are not me. So go outside with your friends, dress nice, or that dress that I don't like that you wear by yourself. We're going to a nice restaurant. I'm going to be on your arm, so you are going to be safe about it, and you're going to flaunt that dress so people actually watch it and says, you know what, Fatty has a really nice wife and she dressed really well. We can always do this, but I don't understand why every time we talk about man, we stay on the man, and every time we talk about woman, there's somebody that likes to say, what about the man? What about the man? What about the men? These women are the most powerful women in the history of mankind. They are presidents, they are mayors, they are astronauts, they have bank accounts, they ride G-Wagons, they can go anywhere and everywhere. The fact that we are going to, for whatever reason, infantilize these women, and every time we have a conversation about their responsibility, we flip it to men, shows that for whatever reason, we still condition that if something is wrong, it's the man's fault, or the man has something to do with it, because these women are not grown-ups, or at least we don't treat them like some.
Well, they've already been called children and dogs on this show, so I mean there is some infantilizing happening.
But at some point though, we gotta ask ourselves, we're asking a woman not to dress a certain way because we're worried about the message she sends us. But what message are we sending her when she's not on our arm at the restaurant, but she's also not on our finger when we're clicking on the mouse to go check out different sites, right? So, what message do men send women when we engage in this type of OnlyFans pornography? It's devastating.
So
it makes sense that they're going to ditch us after 3 years and trade us up for someone who is more.
I want to ask you two a question, right? You said if a woman isn't on your page, you should leave, right? That's what you said. If she's not cooperating, if she's inconsistent, if she's not listening with you, y'all both said you leave, right? But if we're trying to be intentional, we're trying to keep families together, and it's 90% of subscribers to OnlyFans are married men. So the single men aren't watching. It's married men. So if we're really having this honest conversation generationally, a lot of women in society now, the women don't want to be traditional. Most women aren't consistently cooking. Most women are consistently cooking. Cleaning. Most women are consistently having sex with their men. Most women are consistently catering to their men, allowing their men to be emotionally vulnerable, be able to communicate with them without shutting down and making it about themselves. If they're watching OnlyFans instead of cheating on their wife to stay together, Isn't that something that should be understood and justified if the woman is inconsistent in the room rather than breaking his family? If you're the leader of a country, would you want a man to stay with his wife and turn to something he can watch without having to leave her so he can feel something from a woman because she's inconsistent? Or would you tell that man to leave? And I'm asking you, Jonathan and Raphael, being honest and fair. We're asking men to be real men at all times. We're asking men to be marriage-minded, righteous men. But then we're saying, hey, she can wear what she want to wear. She can do what she wants to do. She's a woman. She's not, and no one's referring to her as a dog or a child. I don't know where that analogy came from, but I believe most women are extremely smart. Most women are extremely powerful as well too in their ability to get things out of men. But like Lucy said, most women weaponize their power against men. They don't invest in that man. If a man is leaving his house and his balls are drained, or he is consistently getting sex from his woman, he wouldn't even have time to look at OnlyFans or think about other women. So we have to be fair in this conversation. Most of these men are incapable of getting women, and the men who are being loyal to women, they are watching OnlyFans because they can't get women either. It's hard for them to cheat. So I would think it's fair if a man's watching OnlyFans because his woman is inconsistent in the bedroom or inconsistent in the house, and he's not cheating. He just turned into OnlyFans. Don't you think that would be fair?
Who wants to go first?
Can you ask the question just one more time, just so I can jump in?
So what's happening in society today is that men aren't changing. They're being the same men they got when they got with these women. But when a man gets with a woman, she finally gets the ring on her finger, she changes. She becomes inconsistent. You can't communicate her or redirect her to be the woman you had before, but a man still believes he can get her back. What I'm saying is today, marriages, women are inconsistent, especially in the bedroom. There's big groups where men are not getting sex. They're in sexless marriages. And so they don't turn to cheat, but they'll turn to watch a OnlyFans subscription, or they may be watching porn. What I'm saying is that if that's the only thing he's doing, don't you think it's fair instead of breaking up his home? He watches something in the privacy of his home. Nobody else is seeing that he's watching it, instead of leaving his woman who's not giving him sex.
Look, I personally don't have a problem with guys watching porn as long as they're not addicted to it, as long as they have self-control. But if that's not something that his wife wants him to do, then I think that's something that he should be honest about. They should have a conversation. They should figure something out. But again, it goes back to communication. I think that's the only way we keep relationships together. And I think any professional will tell you that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the key.
But so should she have sex with him when he wants to have sex?
That's up to them. I don't.
Raphael, you said if your wife doesn't want you watching porn,
right?
Should your wife have sex with you when you want to have sex?
I'm not going to say every time. Let them figure out what cadence works for them. I don't think there's like every time I need it, you must put out. Like I don't necessarily say that's the approach the guy should have, but they should come to some kind of agreement. If you're not going to, give me sex, which I absolutely need, and you understand, yeah, exactly. Then
that's all I was saying. Yeah. Hey, Raphael, do you think most men are going to turn to porn if their woman is putting it on them? Honestly, do you think? I
honestly think yes.
No, they're not. They're not, brother. They're not.
I think guys are insatiable, man. I think it doesn't matter what. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. We can go down the list. It just happens. Like you could have the baddest thing on earth and still fumble it. So I think guys definitely.
So is that a fair comparison to a superstar who cheated on his wife with most men? So if that's fair, what you're saying is because Jay-Z cheated, most men cheat. Then that means that most women are you can't make women happy. Most women are selfish. Most women are manipulative. Like if you can take that assertion that you did and say since Jay-Z cheated, most men are insatiable or cheat on a woman, is it fair to say most women are incapable of being pleased? They're selfish. They're vindictive. They're narcissists. The actual narcissists, when they're projecting, they make everything about themselves. Is that fair to say if men are running to women like that?
To say that men are 54% more likely to cheat and the main consumers of porn, that means women are I don't make the comparison to that. That's all I'm saying is that men want variety. Just as Fatty said, that's the only thing I agree with him on, is that men do want variety. And it doesn't matter what you have at home, they're still looking at butts online.
No, I'm asking, but you're conflating porn with cheating. If a man looking at, do most men cheat, or would you say most men are looking at porn?
I'd say probably most men don't cheat, but I know they're more likely to cheat.
But you just said you're fine with men looking at porn.
I said that. That's the first thing I said.
So but that's all I'm saying, Raphael. If you're saying most men are looking at porn and most men don't cheat, then it's nothing really. Most relationships aren't ending because a man is cheating. Most relationships.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Right.
most relationships end for that reason.
Why do you
no.
think most relationships end then?
The number one reason cited is lack of commitment. It could
Lack
be
of
cheating.
commitment. Raphael, you the only person that I've came across that cites that right there is lack of commitment. Like that's the number one, right?
That is
Do
the
you
only
think
reason.
that's the main one? Do you think it's the lack of commitment to the man most of the time, or is the lack of commitment from the woman to the man?
Well, statistically, men are 54% more likely to cheat. So I think if you look at that math, it's a potential that it's the man.
No. So I'm asking, no. So do you think?
I think you're asking, do women initiate divorce more?
They do, 80%.
For sure.
That's what I'm. So who's more loyal?
I don't think filing for divorce determines loyalty. I think that determines who actually legally filed for the divorce. That's all that stat says, in my opinion.
Right, in your opinion, correct? But if I never leave,
we won't know. We don't know. All we have is the opinion. Every identifiable difference
we have to
for
go,
one reason.
off that. But that's your opinion, too. Then if you don't know, you can't say whether it's happening because he didn't want to leave, and you can't say it's whether we can say it's because she wanted to leave. You can't say it's because he wasn't happy in his relationship.
I never gave a definitive. I said that if you look at the statistics of cheating, you might be able to assume it's men.
Yeah, but the problem with actually looking to see reasons why it's like, oh, women leave at 80%, but it's all 80% because they just file it. There's things that men are doing to contribute to it. I could do the same thing with cheating. I could come here and speculate and say most men cheat because their woman is not touching them right. They're not touching them enough. I don't have that data, so I'm not going to speculate. But if I'm going to be biased, I can actually put the blame on woman for something that men are doing. The cheater has the responsibility for cheating. The person that leaves has responsibility for leaving. There might be reasons, there might be not, but you can tell me, even if I cut it in half, or meaning 80%, if I do 40%, there's a tremendous amount of women that are leaving because of what you literally said, is lack of commitment. I don't have to be here. I literally don't. I have all these simps around me. All these weak men try to treat me better than my husband. I think
men are also more likely to remarry, but yeah.
What did you say?
Men are also more likely to remarry, by the way. So,
but respectfully, Raphael, dogs are loyal, right? Dogs don't change owner.
Here's the dog analogy again.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, right? Dogs don't change owner just because you're not coming home before sunset, right? A dog will try to feel like, hey man, where is my owner? Let me go ahead and find something. If you are going to say that just because men are remarrying, that's because just because men are remarrying, that says something about society. No, men lose a woman and they're going to try to get another. Actually, that shows that men are very okay with staying with women, even though they got their heart broken. They probably lost access to their kids. They probably have to live on their car for a couple of weeks, try to figure out, go to their parents' out. That actually shows resilience. I would love, in my opinion, that men don't have to remarry, but for whatever reason, and it kind of sounds like you have an agenda, every single time we talk about men, you are very harsh and you are very precise, but every time we talk about women, you kind of like soften the blow and pull it back and find the justification. I don't think you respect women the way they say you are. I think I actually, and the people that put accountability on women, have the most respect for them, because a powerful being doesn't need to be pampered. A powerful being doesn't need to be lied to. A powerful being receives the information that was given to them and thrives like all of these women are doing in business and school and all that shit. So respectfully, if you respect them, I don't know how you try to kind of give them you're giving them a little bit of candy when they actually need a little bit of syrup.
And that's I really like what you said there. Actually, I actually do 100% agree that women should be given the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and let them sort out where the chips fall. Right.
But I also think too, though, that when you get into statistics and all of that, I think men are more forthcoming when it talks. When you have to talk about cheating. Most women, don't want to be known as a cheater, even if they are cheating. And then two, most women will not tell it, right? So men, you can pretty much, ask if they're, cheating, or have they cheated, even if they're, remorseful or not, whatever. They'll usually tell you. Women, not so much. And then you have to look at it also, that women usually they move a different way. So I, I I find it hard to say that men are you know the ones cheating the most. I just think men are either not as good or just more forthcoming about it, because I can't see, I, with women having babies out of wedlock just like men, right? Having kids that don't belong to the dads, and you find out in the end and things like that. I can't see that not being a part of infidelity. So I just think it's not put under a microscope like it is with men. And men are also more visual, right? And you guys put that out in the front as well. Like you're very visual. We can clearly see you looking at this woman and that woman. So it's already there that yeah, you have the capabilities to cheat. But women, we don't really do that. It's more so like, oh yeah, we saw it and you never know it.
So I'm gonna ask the ladies this before I ask the brothers. If we're gonna have a fair, intentional conversation, if I'm not providing for you, if I'm not protecting for you, if I'm not taking care of my home, most of the men would support you leaving the house, correct? They support you leaving the home, correct? Sister, just real quick answer. If the man is not providing for his home, if he's not taking care of his women, his kids, most men and women would support you leaving your husband if he's not doing right by you, correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So if we're being extremely intentional, we know the nature of man. We know that most men by nature want multiple women. Some men might deny it, that they don't want multiple women. If you can get a man in a monogamous nature, shouldn't that be the deal breaker for him either to cheat or leave if a woman is not having sex with her husband? I'm asking the sisters first. If a woman is not having sex with her husband, isn't he justified to leave first? Two, if he doesn't want to leave his woman and his children, shouldn't he be justified to cheat, to stay with his family? So first question, should he leave if she's not giving him sex? Two, if he doesn't want to break his home, should we support him to cheat to stay with his family? He's just cheating. He's doing everything else. He go, look, man, she ain't giving me booty consistently. I'm not getting it like the way I want it, but I'm paying the bills. The food's on the table. There's the roof over our head. Hey, I need to be supported cheating so I can stay with my woman. So first one, sisters, should he leave if he's not getting sex?
I think he should. I think he should be. I think that should be on the table, which is probably why most women,
just real fast.
most women will say that.
Would most relationships end if men did that?
Would most relationships end?
If men ain't getting, look, we're going to concede to this. If men stop having sex, if women are not having sex with their men consistently, and y'all saying yes, he should leave, would most relationships end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if we know that most relationships would end because of that, but a man still wants to take care of his woman and children, shouldn't we support a man cheating instead of breaking their families? So we have families.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you're looking for the verbal, but I think a lot of women already know that. Like they know, a man will. Most women know a man will cheat, especially if you're not doing what you do. That's why most women will say that's not a deal breaker, or most women won't leave from the man just cheating.
I'm asking that because if we have a market, if we have a market of men smashing and dashing,
I think it's a matter of safety too. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a lag, so I hope I'm not.
Oh, so Lucy, go right after me. When if we have a generation,
too, because a woman's nervous system needs to know, like, do you really got me? Are you actually choosing me? And to be honest, that was a breaking point in my 17-year marriage, because he got to a point where he was in his journey, 4 kids, 17 years of marriage, and he wanted to be able to do what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, but in a very kind of spiritual, bypassing way. And I said, that's not the vision. That's not it. That doesn't work for me.
But so honesty don't work.
No, honesty definitely works, but I don't. Well, from what Lucy is saying.
So hold on, I don't want to go away too fast because
like
hold on, Mika, hold on real quick, Mika, before we get to that. I don't want to go away from that too fast. The current market right now is having women who are marrying and then leaving, or women who are not satisfied with the current market of men. But then when we address the fact that most men ain't even get consistent sex in relationships, now we have a market of men who smashing and dashing, possibly get a woman pregnant, and we having single parents because the woman isn't consistent in her area. So would you rather man tell the truth and cheat and stay with his family, or men lie to women to get sex? Because women are lying about going to be committed and catering to a man. It's the women who are lying. I'm going to be your wife. Man getting a marriage, the woman isn't a wife. The woman isn't catering. The woman isn't cooking. The woman isn't having sex. She's lying. So why shouldn't we support men if women are lying to get in relationships, lying to get sex now because they're not being good women in relationships? That's the main thing I'm trying to tackle.
No, and it's emotionally the way you're asking it is, should we support them in cheating if they're not doing XYZ? No, I think most of us would say the man should leave. And I think that, to me, that would be a fault divorce, in my opinion. I know that the legal system won't say that.
Hold on, Athena, I'm going to get right back to you. Listen to what I'm saying. It creates a market of where men are going to start lying, smashing, and that's why men are just looking for sex now, because we already know what's on the end of the tunnel. There's men in relationships who are honoring their good men, but for the most part, men know that women aren't keeping their word on relationships, so they're lying to women because they're already. The easiest way to filter out women, and Jonathan and Raphael, you know y'all, and Fatty, see, is to tell her the truth and see what she responds with the truth. If she wants lies, which is most women, most men feed her the lie. They have sex because they're not going to get a lot of women, because most women are going to lie in a relationship too. So they're just having sex with women instead of saying, okay, look, support the man in his truth, and he takes care of his family. If she don't want to have sex, then let the man cheat.
We are having two different conversations. I'm sorry, Tina, you can't get it. What's right and what works is different. What's right is telling the truth. What's work is clearly lying to women, because the men that are lying to women are getting better results than the men that are not. So what is right is, yes, you should be honest, like your daddy taught you, be honest and tell the truth and all that. But if instead I say Netflix and chill, which is plausible deniability, and I say Netflix and all of a sudden you don't want to come because I took that out of the table, and now you don't have no excuse for actually not coming and give it up. So respectfully, okay? What's right is telling the truth. Y'all can tell once again that honesty is what's being rewarded by women. And then you go to the T app, you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, and all y'all women are calling your ex liars. So the liars are getting it. Yeah, if all your liars are narcissists, and
but they're not liars.
That's what they say, you know. That's
no,
what they.
But that's because they're lying. Like it.
But that's what they say,
Mika. But the saying is there's his truth, her truth, and then the real truth in the middle. Yes. So men are not usually internet people, and they're not telling all their business. So women do that. And she's just telling her side of the story, but it's usually not the truth, because you got to think that it's two people in that relationship. And I think a lot of the times women think because maybe we're not the quote unquote cheater, so something physical, that they're not actually doing something, right? Because you have other things, like there are women that do things emotionally. There's women that say things verbally to get men riled up a certain way, and they know how that's going to have a man react, right? And it gets them out of not having to do this, or maybe gets them out of not having to have sex or whatever, right? And so then when he finally does something, it's like, oh my God, I have physical proof that you did something, but you've been doing something the entire time. So that's why I'm saying they're lying, because they have done something, and usually it may not be physical, but it's usually something that they have done that has driven men to their wits' end. And it could be vice versa, but the man is the only one that you can actually see, because the like I said with women before, you usually don't get to see it up front, and it's not in your face.
But I think at some point a man has to ask himself, do I want to be a boy or do I want to be a man? And I don't lie ever, and I don't want to lie. Same. So why would you want to lie to your wife? Why do you want to lie to your neighbor? Why do you want to lie to your friend? You're the one looking yourself in the mirror, and you're looking at a liar. That's what you see in return. And no, a lack of sex in a marriage doesn't justify cheating, and it doesn't justify leaving yet. What it does justify is calling your wife to work on repairing your relationship.
Yep.
No.
That's step one. If she flat out refuses, then there's a line in the sand that eventually you cross. But you give her that time to say, look, we're not intimate now. We need to repair this. Are you on board? If she says no, plug that data into your model and then spit out your answer. But until that, you got to at least fight for her willingness to repair. If she says no and, you know, like a stick in the mud, yeah, then leave.
I agree with everything Jonathan said. I think then the man has to, like the algorithm he said, I think he has to make the calculus like, okay, am I willing to cheat? Like I'm so desperate, I'm willing to cheat to keep my kids in a marriage, and that's a choice he can make. But you could also approach your wife and say, hey, you're not giving me what I need. I think you know that. Are you open to an open relationship? There are things that you can do that are in between. It doesn't have to be, I think, one or the other, but communication, again, is the thing you start with.
So, and OnlyFans is cheating, by the way. Let's just establish that. OnlyFans is cheating. That is full-on adultery cheating.
Go ahead, Angela. Go ahead, Angela.
No, I was going to say, what happens when there's a man who has approached his wife about lesser things and has gained one reaction? And so when it comes to talking about something as deep as that, he's literally like, you know, he doesn't really know how to express this to her because of how she may react, because she's reacted crazy to lesser things.
And that's what we mean.
He's going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight like a bird in a cage will eventually fly the coop, right? He's going to have to fight. That's going to be a line in the sand. No one can live indefinitely not being sexually intimate with someone.
Yeah, but the cage will not open no matter how much you fight. And I'm sorry, Ali, this conversation is not based on reality. Do you think every time you want to have sex with your woman, she actually has an headache?
Raise your hand if you're married, by the way.
Raise your hand if you are simping. Okay. Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So the problem with this conversation, once again, is that the disconnect is based on a lie. You don't have a headache 7 times a month. I'm sorry. Something is off. You are giving me an excuse every time I try to get to you, and I'm lying to myself because I say, no, next time I go there, maybe she gives me to me or not. I have to lie to myself because I don't want to break her feelings. Respectfully, everybody lies, even if it's a white lie. Claiming that I don't lie is the biggest lie that it is, because everybody might say, where you at, Fatty? Oh, I'm 5 minutes. I'm in the shower still. I am not even dressed. Everybody lies, even if it's a little bit. And relationships, to be honest, at this point, are based on lies because men walk on eggshells, so they don't hurt that woman feelings. Because the moment they do, she's going to walk in the room with a cloud over her head. She's going to give you the cold shoulder, deny you sex. For the ladies that don't do that, perfect, you are a princess of the planet. But most women, when they don't get their way or they don't get what they want, they turn sour towards you, even if it's for a weekend. So respectfully, the worst, and Ali, sorry, I have to actually illustrate this. The worst blowjob you can have is the one that you have to beg. You are not going to the woman and say, please, can you do this for me? It's the worst sexual experience that you ever going to have in your life. It's because you are asking for it. That woman, if she actually likes you, she will do it, because if your woman jumps on you, I guarantee you there's no man that says, I have a headache. Stop. That's your woman. Take care of that woman and move along. That's your job as a man. Stop making excuses and lie to her to actually give her what she wants from you.
So respectfully to the married men and men in relationships, they're the biggest liars to the women, and they lie to us about what they're going on in their relationships, and they lied because of pride, because they don't want to be ridiculed by society as not a real man because of what's going on in their households. So when you talk about lies, Jonathan and Raphael, you haven't addressed it. Most men are lying, and if they didn't lie, we wouldn't even have relationships. And women, men will lie to themselves about being happy in these relationships to stay with their women. Most of these relationships is, hey babe, yes. You want this? Yes. You want that? Yes. You want that? Yes. The relationship starts ending when men start saying no. So if we're going to say stop lying, then tell your woman, hey, I don't feel like going anywhere today. We staying here tonight.
I do that all the time.
We not moving the floor. Hold on. I'm not talking about the rarity of you. And by the way, if you have a woman that cooperates with you, submits to you, is on your page and loves you, you have a great woman. That's what we're saying, is that we can't conflate that with the modern woman. There are phenomenal women out there that are transparent, that are great women. They like cooking for their family. They like catering. They don't see that oppressive. They don't see us listening to their man as a slave. They don't say they don't want to be a traditional wife and they need the leisure life in order to be a man. But we're talking about the modern woman, Raphael. We're not talking about the minority of women. Majority of men are yes men. Majority of women, once you start saying no and she can't lead that man to where they want to go and she doesn't get her way, that relationship will end. So I agree with you. The problematic part to me is that if we want leaders, they should be able to redirect and correct their women. They shouldn't just have to leave and exit stage left. And if most men, in order to get with a woman, has to leave to get the right woman, most of us aren't leaders. All you're getting is with a woman who you allow to lead you. So I agree with you, brothers, that men, you shouldn't lie in a utopia or any kind of world, but the world thrives off men lying to women. If men didn't lie to women, they'd be miserable.
Well, we
Sounds like
could
a lot
also
of
just
single
ask
guys are
women
miserable,
what
though.
it would take for them to want to be intimate with us.
Say that again?
You can also ask a woman what would make her feel safe to want to be intimate with her husband. Like what would get that desire, activated.
No, listen,
just simply ask her.
So hold on, Jonathan. If a man is not providing for his family, we should all gather around the table and go, hey, let's motivate Raphael to pay the bills. Let's motivate Raphael to be monogamous. Let's motivate Raphael not to cheat on his wife. Let's motivate Raphael to cater to his woman and his child and protect them. Jonathan, listen what you're saying. We should start. Brother, listen to what you're saying.
We can't oversimplify. What if she had a baby? What if he was cheating? There's so many different reasons why a woman was supposed to go to intimacy.
Ali, he just proved the point. It depends. Remember when we started the conversation and we're talking about it depends on the day? What if she's at the baby? What if you literally proved the point? No matter how much we try to run after woman, they will shape sheep every single time because it depends. It depends if she has a baby. It depends if she has a worst day. And you know, Jonathan, why it's very unfair what you did on the beginning of the show by flipping it to men? I guarantee you your woman never had to make you feel safe for you to give her a little bit of sugar. Never. I guarantee you your woman never had to come to you and says, let me give you a safe space so you can... No, you said, oh, you want it? I got you. But on the other way around, these women that promise you that you are the only one for her, that have kids with you, sleep on the same bed that you, share the biggest achievements with you, all of a sudden she needs to feel safe and you need to explain to her how you want to get inside of her when you did that shit 1,000 times before. Makes no sense, respectfully. You got it.
It doesn't make sense until you see the DMs that women will catch her husband sending to his secretary or to random women. Like, men, through their inconsistency or desire for inconsistency, can send awful messages to the women that they're in a relationship with, and that woman closes the door. A woman that finds DMs
that's extreme, but and of course you're going to be on punishment if I catch you cheating on me. Of course,
every day. This
I'm not giving it up.
Anyone on the panel? Hey, Rose.
We're talking about like
I get
Rose,
50 DMs
just to make sure. 1 second,
Jonathan.
Hold on. Hey, Rose, you got it immediately. Anybody on the panel is a monster to think that if the woman catch the man on DMs with other woman, that she should give it away. Anybody's this kind of monster that is talking about one of these situations where a man gets caught either cheating or on the process of cheating, and we don't allow that woman to have an emotional reaction and to say, no, I don't want to be with you right now. Who is the monster on this panel that allows
you just classified her as one being inconsistent, that she wants this and she wants that.
Jonathan creates monsters that nobody has. It just creates a monster so we can debate about it, but everyone agrees if your man is cheating, if your man is cheating,
and asking the woman, hey, we're not having sex, we're not being intimate.
If your man is cheating, if your man is cheating, you have all the right to not give him nothing because he did something bad. So you have to correct his behavior so he can actually deserve it. Rose, and then you can reply, Jonathan.
That's and two. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Leah.
It's Angele.
Angele. Okay. So you touched on what the first question was when, with your previous response. The first question tonight was, do women want their men to lie to them? And yeah, I would say the answer is yes and no, right? Like, no, I don't want you to lie to me about your feelings towards me, about going all the way with me, about sticking to our path, right? But are you going to lie to me? Yes. And in those situations where you're lying to me, if you're lying to me because you're DMing another lady, it's not that I'm okay with it, but it's like, that's life. I've been married 20 years, damn near. I don't think my husband has been perfect every year, just like I haven't been perfect every year. And some of the answers that the husbands on the panel are giving are very cookie cutter and exactly what a wife wants to hear. But for y'all to get up here and say you don't check out a woman's décolletage or her bottom,
My wife knows I do that.
Far-fetched. It's too perfect.
My wife knows I do that. She's okay
Oh
with it.
yeah, and I know my husband does too. That's why I'm just like, it's like, come on.
But that's honesty. I told her
Right.
I like to do this, and she's okay with it.
And so it's like more of that and less of, women are it seems like you all are okay with anything a woman wants to do to self destruct. If women want to dress promiscuously, it's like, let them dress promiscuously. We got to just tell them we don't like it. And then we got to wait for them to understand. No, my husband told me day one, we went on a date. My dress was too short. He said, I'm going to take you out, but we're not getting out the car. I said, why? He said, because your dress is too short. How we going to go anywhere comfortably and your dress is barely covering your bottom? That was the last time I ever wore a mini skirt. So, I mean, there are ways that you can set standards for yourself without controlling a woman. It wasn't that he was controlling me. It was he was controlling himself. He didn't want to have to punch somebody in the face because they went out to touch my butt while we were going to nightclubs, dancing. I mean, why did I think that was a good idea? My butt was going to fall out of the mini skirt.
No, so stop right there, Jonathan. If they're wrong or Fatty wrong about what's happening right now, if a man is in control of how his woman dresses, is that wrong?
I just think that we're moving way too quickly.
No, Jonathan, I would love you. You can give all the context you want.
Sure.
I'm asking you again. When we talk about real men, they need to be providers. They need to be protectors. They need to be righteous. They need to be orderly. They better show up that way. There's no grace. They better not cheat on a woman. They better not touch a woman. They better not lie to a woman. There's no depends. Should a man, if he's with a woman, have the right to control what she wears?
No, I think he could just ask her what he wants.
So should she have?
But he could have his own line in the sand of what's important.
Jonathan, listen to what you're saying, brother. She don't have to ask me to pay the bills. She don't have to ask me to protect her. So she need to ask him. If he ain't protecting and providing, she need to ask him. You're telling a man he need to ask her that?
And he didn't ask me not to wear the dress. I made my own deductive reasoning and said, if I want to continue to date this dude and go out with this man, I'm going to have to wear longer skirts. He didn't tell me, Raquel, don't you ever wear that mini skirt.
We said setting boundaries is okay. Set the boundary and walk away if you're willing to.
No, y'all keep using.
But women in modern times would consider that control.
Raquel, hold on real quick. Jonathan, Raphael, y'all keep dancing around the answers when it comes to. You're gonna get the rebuttal. Y'all, when it comes to what to tell a woman, you have to be real careful on what you tell her. Make sure you have boundaries. Make sure you give her a safe space. Make sure you make her feel good. When you go to tell a man something, I mean, that man needs to be doing what he's supposed to do for his woman. That's his responsibility. What I'm saying is that if a man is going to give monogamy, if a man's willing to die for a woman, living for him, should he be able to say, hey, you can't wear that? Shouldn't he be able to control how she dressed? If he's gonna be the man to die for her, should he be able to, I'm asking you just yes or no. Should he control what she wears?
You could say that, but does that mean she's gonna do it?
No, Raphael.
No. I'm answering you a question. If you say, hey, you can't wear that, if she continues to wear it,
you can ask me that question, Raphael. See, that's bad faith, right? I asked y'all a question.
Absolutely not bad faith.
I'm asking y'all.
Should he control? How can you control?
Y'all can say that right after. You can go right after
control. Without
y'all
restraint.
Y'all can go right after me.
See,
should he control? Hold on, CEO Jonathan Raphael. Should a man control what a woman wears? She should be fine with him controlling what she wears.
controlling. Who controls? And are you control? Who's controlling somebody in a relationship?
One second, friend. Hey, 1 second. Let's flip it. Final say. Okay, the woman controls what she wears, but the man has a final say, meaning it will not be problematic for 90% of the times, but one or time in 100 he's going to say, you know what, baby, I think that dress is not okay. You should take it. Do you think the woman should literally listen to the man without no fighting or nothing, or you think that needs to be the discussion about why she shouldn't use the dress and try to
stay in the relationship?
She'll change. She wants. You're putting it back on her again, y'all. No,
because it's her choice.
No,
it's
so
her
it's his
choice on what she
choice.
wants to wear.
Okay, so hey, Raphael Jonathan, respectfully, that means I can dog out and cheat my woman if it's my choice. I should be able to treat a woman.
Sure, you can, but she may not stay.
Sure. And if she's not okay with that, she'll leave.
I'm fine with support women's rights, right, and equality, right. If they have the right to go to work, they have the right to pay their own bills, get their own car, get their own house, and they can save their money. It's her money. It's not his money.
Pick out their own clothes.
So that women need to start be quiet when a man cheats and does what he wants to do with a woman who's not listening as well too.
When do we say be quiet? We're the ones saying tell the truth. We're the ones saying be upfront. We're the ones saying
ask her to change.
No, Raphael and Jonathan. No, I should be able to lie to her. That's my choice. If I want to lie, that's my choice. I want to conduct that relationship the way
and if she confronts you about it and you continue to lie, she can leave. Just like if you
why are you not fine with a man? Why are y'all not fine with a man having control of the relationship or the way his woman dresses?
Because what is control? Totally real question. What is control? You tell your woman you can't wear that. What does she do next?
No, I didn't ask you that.
No, I'm asking you though. I'm asking you though. You tell your woman you can't wear this dress. What does she do next?
She doesn't love. If she doesn't do it, she doesn't love you. She's not responsible.
Then that's not control. That's your suggestion.
No.
And if she doesn't take it, she leaves. That's not control.
No, you're moving too fast. We're moving too fast. Let's slow down. So if I'm monogamous, so if I'm monogamous to my woman, does she control me?
No, that's your choice to be monogamous.
No, I'm allowing myself to be controlled by a woman who
that's called choice.
No, that's a commitment, a vow that you took. She didn't force you to take it.
That's called choice. I'm choosing to be monogamous. Could I cheat today? Absolutely, but I choose not to.
So when two people submit to each other, they're not in control of each other.
No. It's a partnership. If two people join businesses together, like Google started as a partnership, it's a partnership. That's not
somebody has a final say on that partnership. That's the point.
But didn't most of them say they honor and obey?
No.
That wasn't
I
actually want to hear. Would you guys agree with Ali or with Raphael, the ladies, and the CEO got it right? You guys agree with Ali or with Raphael? Situation again, we're not talking about the hyper
who did the ladies
jealous. We're not talking about the hyper jealous boyfriend that doesn't like nothing, right? We're talking about the regular man that is sensible, is looking at you, is real. For the most part, he doesn't tell you how to dress, but on that day he said, hey baby, that's a little bit too revealing. I think you should change it. Do the woman say yes, sir? Or does it have to be a conversation where if the woman doesn't want to capitulate, she can do what she wants? Like, ladies, where do you stand? Let's start with Mika, and then we go to Alicia, Smell the Roses, Lucy, and Atina. Okay, CEO, then you pick it up. Go ahead.
Patty, do you mind if I share first, because I think I might have to bounce soon.
Perfect.
Coming in.
Yes.
Baby is wild in.
Yes, it's fine.
He's crashing out. I can hear over there. Oh my god. I'm with you though. I'm with you. I know you want a yes or no, black or white answer, but honestly, it's the question I want to ask is, why is a woman with a man who needs to control her, who she does not respect? So if there has to be this piece of like, I need to tell you what to do. I'll give you a real example. I was 8.5 months pregnant with this one, and we were out in this mall, and we'd been there many times, but for some reason that time, and Brendan never tells me how to dress or how to dance or whatever. Like, I'm very expressive, who I am, every facet. But that day he was like, hey, I think you should cover your belly more today. I just have this weird, and I was like, I trust him. I have beyond a respect, I have a reverence for him, and I trust myself to discern what kind of man I've chosen. And so it's not a matter of control. Like, that's like a surface question. It's like, do you respect your man? Do you have reverence? Do you have that connection and that trust that if he says, hey, the vibes are off today, or I don't even have to know why, but then I can share, hey, you know what came up for me when you said that is, I felt like a little girl with her dad telling her that she can't wear that. And I was like, that stung, even though that was not the intention. So I think we need to have more of these conversations.
So Lucy, if we're gonna concede to you, that means most women are using men. They don't love and respect them. They just with them because of what they get from them. If we're gonna concede what you say, if this woman doesn't respect her man or love her man and doesn't cooperate with them, but she's with them, then we have to acknowledge that women are with this man for a trophy ticket. She's there for someone to support her lifestyle. Most of these women are using men, but we're not acknowledging it. If I can sit in a relationship and be miserable and unhappy and take care of a woman and be in a committed relationship, and there's brothers like Jonathan and Raphael who will say, hey, that's the choice he made to stay in that relationship. He should have left. And most of the time, men are already checked out, but they stay. But he wants to stay with that woman that he loves. Why don't we address the fact that majority of these women are using men? They see him as valuable, but they want to use him the way they want to use him and the way it benefits their life, instead of giving them little small things. Like, if a man will die for you, if a man will provide for you, if a man will live for you, is it that big of a deal for him to say, hey, babe, you know what? You can't dress that way. Can't dress that way. If I can't cheat, if I go now, I go to my house right now, because there's people who have, for some reason, they think people that speak like this don't got a woman. If I go to my house right now and I say, hey, I'm cheating on you, you ain't about to cheat. Like, she has every right to say that. We all want a sense of security, which is control. We can't brush around the word and be afraid of staying in control. We're in control. Y'all have some capacity control. That's the only way you're staying with each other. If he was out of control or did things out of your control, you wouldn't want to be with that man. So you can say, hey, if I love you and respect you, I'll allow you to control me. I can concede to that.
Because that's not the agreement you have, right? With your person.
Hey, Lucy, your child. Do you control your child?
I'll repeat it.
I'm gonna ask any woman that's on the panel, do you control your children or do they have a choice?
Absolutely, you control them, because you have to control what, you have to control their environment. So absolutely, you have to be able to have all of the control over them. And if you're asking somebody to protect you, they have to have a form or a level of control. Like the president is the president, but the Secret Service will tell him, sir, no, because there is they understand there's a certain level of danger here, certain level of danger here. And if I'm responsible for you, if you're going to make me responsible for you, then I have to have some type of autonomy over you, because I am responsible for you. But if I'm not responsible for you, then you can do whatever you want. My dad used to tell me that a man that lets you walk on the outside thinks you're not valuable, because if he did, he would put you on the inside, because it's like you said, a man, if he loves you, he's willing to die for you, right? So a car jumps the curve, he'll probably push you out the way, and you're in the inside and he's going to get hit, right? But a man that doesn't care, he doesn't care about you being out there. He doesn't care about the other guys yelling at you, screaming at you, pulling at you, tugging at you. So with that being said, you got to make it somewhat easier for him to be able to do that. Everything is not always going to go smoothly, but if you know you're going to out and you're going to dance and you have on something, and as soon as you start moving, everything's going to fall out, the guys are coming, because most women have been out there, so they know how men react. They know what men are going to do. The moment you walk away from the dude, grabbing at you. So he's trying his best to keep it as, yes, I want you to wear the stuff you feel comfortable in, but I also want you to respect the fact that if you put yourself in situations, I gotta defend your honor. So
can the rest of the Mika, can you answer the question, and the rest of the ladies, like, do you take your dress if he says take your dress, or there's a discussion about it because it's your final decision, is your body, your choice?
You say, yeah, you take off the dress.
You take the dress. What about you, Alicia?
It's not that big.
What about you, Alicia?
Me?
Yes. Do you take the dress off, or there's a conversation about it?
My thing personally is it shouldn't even have to get that far. Like, I make sure I dress with taste, and then even if there's something that I might put on that I might feel like is a little bit too revealing, I'll ask my husband. hey baby, what do you think about this? Or that's it. And he always says it's okay, because I don't push those limits, but I think that she should listen to him.
So if there's a day that he says it's not okay, you are not fighting. You just says okay.
No, I'm just gonna change.
What about you, Rose? I keep calling you Rose. What about you, Raquel?
I'm changing the outfit, or I'm doing the same thing. I'm asking him, what do you think? Like, the only thing that I know that will get me in trouble today in modern times is what y'all brought up last week, the leggings. Like, if I was to put on leggings with a crop top instead of like leggings with a Hawks jersey, yeah, my husband, he gonna be like, you ain't going out like that, and then I'm not going out like that. I'm grabbing my big jacket and my camel toe is covered, like, because that's his problem. He doesn't want that out. He doesn't want that out. So
Lucy, can you answer the same question, Lucy?
Yeah, I there's a little bit of a lag, and sometimes like three people are talking at once, and I don't know if you actually are or if it's just
we looking out for you when you got when
is the Peru internet. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But like, if it was your situation, like, what would you do? Would that be a conversation, or would you change the dress or whatever you're wearing? I think somebody has to ask the question other than me.
I'm literally right next to the router. I don't know.
Ali asked the question instead of me, because it might be she can't hear me, but probably she can hear anyone on the panel.
She says she's delayed. Do it again. She was just delayed. Ask it again, Fatty.
If you have a dress and your husband says he doesn't like it, do you change
if we're gonna go out somewhere, then if I'm going somewhere and I'm going with him, or regardless, but especially if I'm going with him, the person that I want to impress or get the attention of is him. So
the answer was, we got the answer. See, what's going on, Ali?
Let me just, we're going straight to CEO. Just real quick. Ladies, can you protect your child if you don't control them?
No.
How many kids yet? But I'd say no.
And Lucy delayed. I think she gonna be back to the future.
There's a delay.
CEO, you go next. I just y'all need to hear Mika. If the Titanic is sinking, there's no discussion. If somebody's attack us, there's no discussion. You don't sit there, mini, mo. I feel emotionally insecure. Can we talk about this? A man will not hesitate if there's a situation where you are in danger to actually step up. There's no convincing. There's no I'm not feeling emotionally strong today. So if on that side you are expecting your man to react to things without him having to be stimulated or incentivized or whatever the word is, right? I'm expecting the same thing on the other side. If I tell you to change, go change, especially because you pick me, you know who I was, you know how I roll, you know exactly how I feel about certain things. So if you can have kids with me, if you can live with me, if you can know my mama, my dad, all that, if I'm willing to die for you, the bare minimum you can do is change your dress for me. Don't die for me, go change your dress. It's cool. I'll die for you. That's my job, not yours. Go ahead, CEO, uninterrupted. And then we go and when we go to the super chats. And Lucy, if you're going to stay, just refresh your internet, your thingy, so we actually can reboot and you can be on real time, because I think you have a massive delay, like a 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a big delay. I'm gonna see if I can come out.
You need to refresh or something too, man. You seem like you still downloading over there.
Really?
Yeah, you up? You
No. CEO is just the camera quality. Lucy has a massive delay. Hey, Lucy,
maybe you need to turn off the camera, turn it back on, because you upload.
No. Lucy, when you hear the CEO, when you hear the
moving in real time now?
No, let me say something. There's a conflicting information. Lucy, when you hear the number 5, say pineapple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pineapple?
Yes, just leave and come back. It's like a 5 to 10 second delay. CEO, you good? It's just
1, 2,
the
3,
same
4,
as usual.
5.
Yeah.
Are my words
all right. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's try.
Let's try.
Just refresh it. Go ahead, CEO, and interrupt it, please.
Yeah, I think a man should be able to take control and not actually control the woman, right? Like I'm gonna use Smell the Roses example. Her husband took control of the environment after he saw what outfit she had on and allowed her to make a conscious choice not to ever wear the miniskirt again. He did the rightful manly thing to do, which is to take control of the environment. We still going out, but we're not going to go outside. You feel me?
We still dancing around the word though. If I say a CEO is controls this company, CEO controls this army, CEO controls this platoon, we don't want to put control with women, but we don't mind being controlled by women and our kids. We'll say that word depending on how the control is. We're both being controlled. We are afraid. Most brothers are afraid of women, man. Just keep it real like that.
No, that's why I said. That's why I said
let me land. You can take it right back. We've been programmed to let them manipulate us. We've been programmed to do what they want us to do. We've been programmed to be afraid of how they react to what we say, so that we dance around that word. But ultimately, no man wants to be in a position where he's not in control of the situation or his woman and his kids. It doesn't benefit him. And that's why a lot of women are turning on their men. That's why a lot of kids turn on the father, especially when the mother gets in the way of parenting and the woman is the first teacher of children. And if the woman gets in front of the daddy and the importance and the honor of the daddy, the kids will turn on the daddy as well too. So it ultimately comes to control, and you allowing the person to be in control as well too. That's the big word.
I think you guys got.
I didn't dance around the word because I agreed that a man should be able to take control. He controlled the environment and not the person, right? He allowed the person to make the right decision for herself, and I think that's why they got married, because he took control of the situation, right? As a man, he took control of the situation. I'm picking you up. You got this mini skirt. Your cheeks is hanging out. Okay, we're not going to get out the car. That's what he said off rip. He told her what's going to happen. That's taking control of the situation. He didn't control a person and say, "Oh, you don't ever wear that again." He took control of the environment and then allowed her to make a decision. You feel what I'm saying? So he still took control.
All I'm saying, ACO, all I'm saying is the semantics. Like people are saying literally taking control of her. Of course, we can't literally take control of her, but you would be in control. That's all I'm saying. If somebody lives in CEO household, you're in control.
The only thing you can control is yourself. The only thing you can control is yourself. My parents had control of me. I still smoke weed. You know, like
absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know what is a mechanism of control? Hey, Fatty, if you don't stop sagging your pants, I'm not going outside with you anymore. Yes, miss.
But that's
Richard,
not control.
You know what the method of control?
You know what the consequences. And I think, Ali, this is the word the C word that you need to get correct.
Is the same word because respect is the same word.
It's not the same word.
You know why?
It's consequences. When you say to someone, "You're not getting out of the car,"
It's semantics.
That's what it is. You're not getting out of the car with me. You can get out of the car, but you're not going to be with me.
Jonathan.
So there's consequences. It's not control.
Okay. Does the government control us by if we do something, if we cross, if we delete somebody, if we go through a red light? There's controls mechanism that make us suffer.
No, we control ourselves because we form the government. So that
the government doesn't have mechanism.
We chose the government. Then we chose the people to control us, right?
So if you miss some child support payments and the government decides to put you in the jail for a week, and is that the mechanism of control to make sure that you pay the child support?
No,
but Fatty, he made a good point. Hold on, Fatty, he made a good point to your argument. He said, the government doesn't control us. We formed the government, and this is what we wanted, right? We picked people to control us, right? So in a marriage, wouldn't it be the same exact way?
Mm-hmm.
She picked you as a man, or was supposed to anyway, but she picked you and said, "This man I know is going to take care of me. I picked the right representative to represent my family. I know he's going to represent my family. He has me, right?" And so if I think that about a politician, why wouldn't I think that way about the man I sleep with?
Because if you flip this And if a man came on here and said, man, I do everything my woman says. If she tells me to go left, I'm going left. I do whatever makes her happy. I'll do whatever she wants me to do. Most women would see that, oh, that's a good man. That's a real man. Nobody sees it's problematic if a man comes here and professes that he does whatever his woman wants. And Raphael, are you telling me if a man comes here and says, man, I do whatever my wife wants, she's in control of my life, do you think most women will be like, oh, that man's disgusting, or that's a real man? You might be, I know you may be disgusted, but would most women support that rhetoric, even if they wouldn't support the actual man? Would they support the rhetoric?
I hope not. I don't know the answer, but I hope not.
Okay, so that's okay. So we're not over pursuing. Hold on, Fatty. Hold on. Sisters, would most women support that rhetoric?
No.
Yes.
Hold on. What? Hold on. Say that again. Say that.
If a man comes on here and says, man, I do whatever my woman wants. I do whatever to make her happy. Like I'm fine with my woman controlling and leading this relationship. Would most women in today modern time support that rhetoric? The rhetoric.
Oh, they would support the rhetoric, but they wouldn't like it.
Right.
Yeah,
But no,
they
right.
would still walk you like a dog.
That's the point. Nobody, no man, no woman would push back on typically on that conversation.
No, they would support
in real life. If you go over people's house, and I know y'all do, most men just quiet. They don't say nothing. They're not going to say nothing that ruffles their woman's feathers or her friend's feathers. Men are afraid to talk in public. They want to make sure they don't say nothing wrong, and they're saying whatever makes their woman and the other women around her comfortable. And any man that's on this panel knows that's what typically happens out in settings. Men, whatever women's saying, they just sitting back chilling. Unless you go to another room where you can talk. Soon as the ladies start coming towards the room, everybody switches up and starts talking about what they like hearing. Like, let's keep it real about.
See, that's not my experience, man. But I mean,
So,
maybe
so you never went to so Raphael, you never went to a barber shop and saw the man talking, and then a woman comes in the room and everybody switch it up. You never saw that? Never.
I only go to male barbershops. Women don't typically come in.
So women don't have kids. So women don't have kids that they take to male barbershops to actually do their hair. No.
I haven't seen that in years personally, but maybe they do.
And this is what we're talking about. This is not a conversation.
It is true.
This is not a conversation based on reality. You know why I'm not?
It's my reality.
It is true because of my social circle.
You know why this is not a conversation about reality? Oldest game in the book. Woman use sex to get money and power, and man use power and money to get sex.
50% of households
game in the book. When your woman is denying you sex, for the most part, is a control mechanism so you can actually act the way that you want to act. Everybody knows about it. Everybody has these conversations. When a man, for example, is the sole provider of the family, he has a level of control because that woman doesn't have means that actually take care of by herself. So we know he's control too. Relationships is nothing but a control, like a power struggle between two people. And the best you can ask is for two people to actually be kind about it. I'm going to push you this way, and you are going to watch the Super Bowl with me, even though you don't like football. And I will watch Housewives of Atlanta with you, even though I don't like it, but I will do it anyway. It's a power struggle.
But for whatever reason, it is a power struggle, Fatty, but for whatever reason, it doesn't end well for her. That's the whole point. What? She's got the same consequences.
No, but that's what Ali's saying. Ali is saying this. Men are fine with being controlled by a woman, especially a woman that is grateful, a woman that loves you, a woman that rocks with you, a woman that pushes you. There's nothing more exciting to do something for a woman that actually is on your program. It's awesome. Hey, baby, you want to go shopping? Do you think do you guys saw the video that they was asking on Costco? Rate your experience coming to Costco with your wife from 0 to 10. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. and woman thought, oh my God, they ate woman. No, it means that I don't like to be here, but I still love you so much that I'm going to hold your bag while you're doing some useless shopping that you actually don't need. There's love. Love is not a negotiation between two equals. Love is sometimes you are going to have the final decision, which is most relationships is woman, to be honest. 90% of the things in the relationship is the woman that decides. And then there's going to be a very small percentage of decisions where the man has the final veto in power, and the man can even say, I control and I have the final say, even though my woman does everything. Because if he does it, there's somebody that's coming out of the woodwork calling him monster, saying it shouldn't be like that. A woman, her body, her choice, all that. This is all bullshit. This is not reality at all. And go ask to this woman if they want a man that can exercise control over them. They will say no when they're 20s, and they will beg for it when they are older and they have no way out. They'll say, I wish a man could come to my life to control out of the mess that I did. All of a sudden, we don't know what we're talking about. All of these women don't want to be controlled, don't want to be said what you do when they literally get wet every time a man says, hey, watch your mouth. Don't say that.
But Fatty, I think maybe
hold on,
Jonathan
Mika.
has a woman that is on his program, so he might not be in that mind frame. I don't think most men get to, because Jonathan looks relaxed to me.
He looks like a kept man, right?
He looks relaxed. Okay,
Hey, Mika, flip it. No, flip it. He is on our program because there's respectfully, Jonathan. This is Mika. I got you right. This is not a shame. Most relationships are controlled by women because the day they decide they don't want to stay, they bounce. That's the reality. Most women are the ones decided if they leave or they stay. The best predicament for you to actually know if you're going to have a long-lasting relationship is not the man, is the woman. How much quality does that woman have? So Jonathan might have a wonderful woman, so he is very okay with considering everything that she wants to do. But for the most part, Jonathan, if you don't have the balls to put your foot down and says no, and everything has to be the conversation, respectfully, she's just trying to converse with you so she can change her mind and do what she wants.
I can say no all the time because there's consequences that are attached to my request.
Real quick. I
got to be able to respond, Ali.
Of course, but hold on. We have one person who hasn't spoke at all yet, and then you can get right back. I just want to hear, because then we go back in the open panel. He hadn't even spoke yet. Ask a brother. Are you seeing any inconsistencies, consistencies? What sense can you make out of this matter, my brother? What do you see? And then my brother Jonathan, you could be the first to rebuttal him, and Raphael as well too.
And I'm sorry, Mika, for taking the microphone out of your hand. It was not on purpose.
Yeah, if I could see the names of the people so I can make sure I address people properly, I would greatly appreciate it. Number one, thank you, Ali, and everybody for welcoming me in real quick.
You, my brother.
I'm super hungry, so I just came real quick because this was a really lively conversation. I just had a couple concerns when I was listening to this, and I was like, I'm seeing some fire people on the show. Smell of Roses, Pop, Culture Mika, and so many others. I appreciate y'all for sure. The gentlemen, Mr. Raphael and Jonathan, it looks like you both like coaches for relationships and
for men. Yes,
I've been a couples therapist for 10 years. So
okay. My main concern, based off of how I listened to your responses, was I think one of the concerns on my end that I've observed and noticed for quite a while sometime is as women have elevated their personal feelings more and more, they've lowered the value of the things that they agreed to, like oath and commitment and marriage, right? So when you have a population that elevates their feelings too high, this is how we run into these situations where we're trying to talk about what men need to do different, and we kind of start to coddle women as if they're not adults making volitional decisions as well. So my initial concern is you gentlemen that are talking to men and to couples, and Jonathan, I'm not doubting that you probably have some success. I'm assuming if you're doing it 10 years, you're doing something right. My concern is if the ladies that fixate and elevate too high just their personal emotions and their feelings, we get into these scenarios where they're putting men in unwinnable situations. My default setting when I'm talking to couples, when we do premarital counseling and we're working with couples, is I try to explain how dangerous his cheating is. And I don't think enough people in your positions, and I'm not saying this is what you guys are doing, but what I am suggesting is if you don't see his cheating as the equivalent of her being unfaithful, this explains why your responses have been what they have been to the panel. You don't see those as anything close to comparable or in pretty close territory.
Can you say that again?
Yeah. I view women who decide and intentionally choose to hold out for non-medical reasons as already being unfaithful. So women that choose to be unfaithful, you deserve, as a woman who's obligated this man to be monogamous with you in the court of law and before the church and all this other stuff and gave all these oaths, when you decide you want to cheat, when you decide you want to stay in a relationship and get all the benefits, but you also don't want to hold up your end of the bargain, you've already broken the vows. You're functionally not a wife anymore. You are already unfaithful, and you've been unfaithful, and it's usually the man is not complaining after a week. So if you've been unfaithful for that long, these are your options of what you actually deserve. If you're putting a man in a position when you're not willing to work on this stuff, fix it, you're supposed to end the relationship. if you're choosing to stay and still hold out, you're being unfaithful and putting him in an unfair position. So now a man has to decide, stay in a sexless marriage and relationship with somebody who clearly doesn't like me, or risk losing access, or at least half of the time of access to my kids. That's how deceptive and disgusting this actual behavior is. If we treated it as such, then wouldn't the appropriate responses be, yes, either you are to divorce her or he is to cheat privately and respectfully, and you don't need to ask about it. That's actually, if he has to choose between losing access to his kids or staying in a sexless marriage and relationship, the only other alternative, naturally, if he doesn't want to lose access to his kids with a woman who's choosing to do this, is to cheat on the side.
That's verbatim what I said earlier, by the way.
Okay. So that's the position you gave. That's the positions that you're putting your partner in.
I don't disagree at all.
So my concern, and Raphael, I came in late, so I didn't hear a lot of what you had to say in regards to this topic. My concern is, if the conversation is always talking about what men need to do different and men need to approach different, I have no problem holding men accountable. My stance and lens is, if you can't reference and tell a woman, hey, if you keep holding out, you're going to get cheated on, or you're going to lose access to your kids half the time. That's how serious it needs to be. And when Ali and other people are saying this, some of this stuff, Jonathan, I just kind of sense like, man, you're kind of raising the bar in terms of how men need to try to fix and resolve this. And there's a whole other half of this equation. And my concern, man, is like, listen, I'm not saying that you're not loving, that you don't have care for men and you don't have care for women. My only concern is, if you view this the way I view it, my lens would be a little bit more, I'll phrase it this way. If men got divorced as often as women held out, 10% of women would still be married. So regardless of what the options are, of how you think men should proceed, there's clearly something about elevating our feelings too high above our oath, above our commitment, above the things that we promise before God and our community and our family, where you think that this is an optional process. I'm a married man, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't walk around like a dictator. I'm an alpha man. I don't do none of that shit. All this red pill stuff is cool for social media. My wife knows the clock is ticking after 2 to 3 weeks. You ain't got to ask. You ain't got to wonder. You ain't got to none. The clock is ticking after 2 to 3 weeks. Ain't no way I worked this hard to be in a position where you're going to weaponize sex over me. We don't have to have a discussion. I mean, we don't have to have an argument. I can leave, or I can stay, and I can do what I want. But you don't get to pick and choose when you want to show up as a wife and then try to hold me accountable that I still got to do my end of the bargain. That's all that I'm concerned about. I'm not saying that it's justified, but I'm saying that's actually a very normal reaction when the leverage is I lose access to my child. If I can lose access to my child because of something you're doing, and my options are stay and be in a sexless marriage and relationship for the next 10, 20 years of my life, I'd rather stay in the house with my child and get the pussy you ain't giving. And you can stay in your lane and do what you got to do on the side if you see fit. But this idea that I would never lie, I would never this. Well, I thank God that you haven't been put in a position to be in a relationship with a woman like that. I have, with a previous relationship. So I know what it's like to show up, do everything, and the countless men that I've talked to that have done this for 10, 15 years. They're in relationships with people that's only thought about themselves. They've elevated their feelings above the kids, above the marriage, above the oath and the commitment. And then when he does cheat, some of the worst people in relationships were the people who didn't cheat. It's the person often that didn't cheat that gets to run around with the narrative that the reason why the marriage ended is because somebody cheated. Not because of the sexual manipulation, not because of the weaponization of the children, not because of the lies and the gossip and all this other crazy bullshit that a lot of ladies end up doing. I just think that it's disgusting that if we viewed men cheating anything close to women withholding sex, that they're demanding monogamy from the other man, I think that we would have a much better, more balanced approach when we're talking about what's wrong from both sides. I was sensing and I'm listening and I'm hearing a lot of what men need to do different and not nearly enough of, well, maybe a lot of you ladies don't deserve a ring in the first place. So, Jonathan, if you want to respond, I have no problem with that. And just to clarify, there's men that will take their life because of this issue. So the reason why it's so serious to me is I can't stand when I'm listening to panels and listening to people where they talk 95% of the time about what men need to do different. Ladies, stop asking to get married if you get married and you decide this is how you want to behave. So Jonathan, if you want to respond, I respectfully will listen to whatever it is you got to say, my brother.
You know, I love this conversation. We started out by, does a man have a right to tell a woman what to wear? Or can a man control what a woman wears? And now we're talking about whether a woman has a right to withhold sex or what the consequences should be. I do not hate anything that you said with respect to a marriage is essentially no longer a marriage when someone's withholding sex. I 100% agree with that.
It's basically a divorce.
It's a divorce, right? All I'm saying is that there are consequences attached to all of our individual decisions. So if she decides to withhold sex, I'm going to go to her before I cheat, before I leave, and I'm going to say, what's it going to take for you to get on board with being intimate and repairing this intimacy that we are meant to have, right? If she flat out refuses, there's consequences attached to that.
And would you agree that one of those consequences, if it's not divorce, is I'm going to get what I can get on the side?
I agree that some men do that. It's not what I would.
I'm just saying and I want ladies to understand.
I would 100%.
That I'm not saying
I would understand it.
And like Fatty said it earlier, there's a difference between saying what's more likely to happen versus what's right. I'm not saying it's moral or it's right for a man to cheat. I am saying that's absolutely on the table if you try to stay in a relationship and demand monogamy with a man and not offer sex. That is absolutely on the table. So this whole back and forth discussion of, well, we need to talk about, we're not having sex. So by default, we need to fix it. And both parties know that. So when the ladies hold the cards and you know we need to work on this and you're not choosing to work on it, you've already made the decision for us. There's no begging. There's no pleading. You already know what he needs to do. And either you think he can or can't do it. So when you choose to stay, it doesn't matter about the conversation at that point. Because at that point, either he can or can't live up to it, and you've already made a decision that you just don't want to give it.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a man
you put him in an unwinnable situation.
Where I'm coming from, though, is if I'm a man that has a broken marriage, I don't want to then become a broken man by cheating on my wife. I made a vow in front of God. And so I say, I will extend you the description of what the consequences are going to look like, but that's not going to force me to cheat.
Yeah. So, and I'm not even saying
I would take and arguably, if we are roommates now, we're no longer, in a marriage. Well, then the consequences, unfortunately, are going to be that I leave, and I will only see my kids half the time. And I suffered that 4 times over from both my parents twice over. And it's dreadful and it's terrible. Yeah. But it's not going to force me to cheat. But I absolutely believe that the C word that we need to be talking about is consequences, not control.
Yeah. And
there are consequences when it's 2-3 weeks and you show me no intimacy, no affection. We're having a conversation. We're having a long conversation and one that's going to bring you to the table. And if you refuse to come to the table, then I guess I got to go eat somewhere. I'm not going to cheat on you before I do that, though. And listen, I don't hate what you said. I just would do it differently. And I'm as happy to hang on. I just want to say one thing. I'm just as happy to throw women under the bus as I am men under the bus.
Oh, okay. Because
100%.
Again, I came in
late.
I'll
call a man to a higher standard, and I'll call a woman right after him or right beside him, because women should show up just as much as men should. No one gets a free pass. No one gets a free ride. And if she thinks she's going to go out and dress this way and act a certain way, and that's going to be consequence free, I'd love to have my wife on here. Yes, my wife is on my program, but I'm on her program. We're on each other's program. And arguably, even Fatty is on a woman's program in the honeymoon phase, and she's on his program in the honeymoon phase. The question is not, why aren't you? It's the question that we should be asking is, how did I fuck it up so bad that you're not on my program anymore? Right? We need to turn the lens on ourselves. And if Fatty were to ask himself that question a little bit more, maybe his woman would be on his program and he'd be on her program, and then they would live happily ever after.
Yes,
that's all I'm
saying. She's not on my program because of men like you. Because y'all condition women, because y'all men of your generation and above condition these women to think that even though you're not bigger than me, even though you're not more emotional stable than me, even though if you can like you condition women to look at us as equals. And then when I want to put my foot down and says, come to my program, no, because I heard somebody on YouTube named Jonathan, and he told me that I'm on his program and you are on my program. This is what we call sabotage. The gender war is man against man, not man against woman. It's man against other man that do the dirty bits of woman. And you know what's funny, Jonathan? Hey, and you know what's funny, Jonathan? Hey, y'all are way more accomplished than me. All of the men on the upper panel and CEO are way more accomplished than me. Y'all deal with the average man. They book consultations with y'all probably every day, 2-3 times a day. You know what's funny? I think I actually know more about the average man than you, because if you thought that denying sex is the end of marriage, 90% of men will actually be single at this point or divorced, because most men in any point of the relationship are going to get on a place where a woman doesn't want to have sex with them. And if I was doing the same thing that you were telling me to do, I would lose my family, I'll lose my kids, I'll lose probably the place where I live, and I'll lose all these things that actually make marriage such a nice thing. So
Fatty, if you're on a losing streak in Vegas, why are you then going to bet?
If you are going to do these type of prescriptions to the average man, if she denies you sex, talk with her, and she doesn't do nothing, leave, you are sending 90% of average men either 1 year, 1 month, in 10 years, you are going to send them out for the streets, because that's what's happening to most men in any point of the relationship.
Jonathan, real quick, because I'm about to leave.
I gotta respond. I gotta respond.
Jonathan, I appreciate your feedback, and I appreciate learning more about you and knowing that, oh yeah, you hold men and women accountable. 100%. I appreciate that for sure. The caveat, not even a caveat, the short response that I would just kind of toss in there is, there is a worldview where a man staying in a sexless marriage and cheating is better than seeing his kids 50% of the time. Like, and I'm not saying that's your worldview.
I would never pass judgment. I have to say, I don't judge. Like, what
there's just people that's in those situations. There's people in those situations, and for me I'll tell him what the pros and cons of it will be. I'll say what the risk factors are. But the idea that there's men that, well, just see your kids twice a week now, or see your kids on weekends. If that's the choice, cheating's better. Cheating's better. And if that's the choice he's been, I don't want to say forced, because you mentioned that no one forces you to do it, but if that's the position you've been placed, push, manipulated, whatever it is, if that's the option, the cards that you've been dealt, the first thing I'm going to challenge him on is, has she shown these traits before you gave her a ring? Did she show these traits and signs that she'll withhold and weaponize certain things against you? Because I'm going to put it more on him for putting himself in a situation in the first place. But once he's in it and he has kids involved, if a man has to choose between seeing his kids every other weekend or only during the summer and all this other bullshit and getting sex on the side because she's not offering it, it is what it is.
I just have to respond real quick, and then I do need to leave. But I agree with a lot of what Jonathan said. I do coach men, but the thing I coach men on is that the only thing you can actually control, if we go back to the C word, are your own actions. That's the only thing you have control of. So if a woman is not giving you sex, the only thing you can do is try to have the conversation, put out the consequences to say, this is what it is. We're either going to have an open relationship, we're going to get divorced, or I'm going to cheat and you're not going to know it. Like 100%. Those are the three things but I think what I try to teach men is that you need to have the self-respect to know that discernment, and then the communication skills to be able to navigate a long-term relationship. That's all I want to tell men to do, is like, that's all you have control of. Is you can, tell someone your intentions. You can be assertive of what you're going after, what you want, and the consequences are the consequences. But I try to encourage men to lift themselves up, because that's the only thing they can do. You can complain about women not putting out until you're blue in the face. That's not going to make them put out.
No, but listen, but if this is extremely
translation, you are going to beg for sex, and if she says no, tough luck.
I don't need a translator, Fatty. I'm pretty clear about it.
No. I'm just saying, for the average people, the translation is, please, lady, can I have some sexual crumbs, please? No.
He's not begging.
That might be your relationship, buddy. That might be your relationship, Fatty, but I don't relate.
But leave the intentional part. If we're listening to what Ask a Brother is saying, and we're talking about the intent of society, right? If what's best for the kids in society, him cheating to take care of his family and keeping the family together, seeing his kids all the time with the ungrateful woman, or him leaving and breaking the family to go find sex and see his kids half the time to leave them with an ungrateful woman. These kids are having issues because they're not following their father, they're following their mother. So is it better for him to stay there and keep from broken houses happening, or us to keep investing in the current market where men just smashing and dashing? We have single parents. Like, look at what he's asking. Like, we're not truly listening to what he's saying. Should the man stay, keep his kids together, and the father's always there, or should we separate? And now we have kids in broken homes, identity issues, and no disrespect for nobody, because I believe in the Holy Trinity, man, woman, and child. LGBT behaviors being presented. Kids have identity issues where they don't like themselves, they don't like their mama, they don't like their daddy. We can't commit to each other. In our lifetimes, looking at the age of people on this panel, people aren't getting married. People can't create healthy relationships. It's because there's a gender that's chosen themselves over everybody else, and they've given permission to the boy to do what he wants, the girl to do what he wants, and now we have a society that doesn't commit to each other. So when he asked that, is it better for a man to get peace outside the home from a woman he's not getting peace from, to continue doing what he's doing to keep a family together, or to go back out and keep a sexually liberated society where everybody just breaking each other? Which one's best for society?
Well,
I think what's best for society is men to give women 3 weeks. If it's for non-medical reasons. The first week we were both busy. The second week there's a problem. Week 3, don't ask why I came in at 3 a.m. If we start there as a premise, and again, I appreciate Raphael saying you need to make this known. You need to say this out loud. You don't need to do this in private. You need to make it known. This is what, like both gentlemen said, this is the consequence. Now, again, I got to do my part if there's things that I'm doing that's contributing to why it is that she doesn't want to have sex. But if you decide that you're putting me in an unwinnable situation, it is what it is. Now, I will have that conversation, see if we can resolve it. But if that's the situation I'm going to be placed in, that's what's on the table.
Yes, but I'm gonna ask you because your mind is different than a lot of people. I got to catch you on Ill Alive the other day, and I've been looking for inconsistencies. You ain't give me one yet, so I'm supporting you, my brother. As you are being the leader of the nation in a higher conscience, wouldn't we eventually come to a place to go, hey man, you just gotta lie. Hey, she don't accept it, she ain't gonna accept it. But to keep peace in your house and your home with the higher intellects, the only thing you can advise is this man to cheat and lie. Because if he tells the truth, and this is why I'm saying this, and coming from where you coming from, we being intentional. If he tells the truth, she's already leaving. If he tells the truth, he already broke his home. So if the majority of the time she's gonna pick,
I'll tell you why Raphael and Jonathan are right. I'll tell you why they're right.
Okay.
They are right if you set the foundation from the beginning of what the expectations are and what the consequences are. I'm going to flip it to make it easier. If I refuse and stop paying bills, how long should my wife decide she needs to get money elsewhere? And if she comes up and the bills is paid and I'm like, well, how she pay the bills if I'm not contributing to it? That's not my business. Because if I've volitionally made a decision, that I'm not going to take care of her, I'm not going to provide anymore, I don't have the onus to be able to say, well, where'd you get the money from? It ain't from me. So she gets to go and get the money elsewhere. So that's a very basic understanding on our part. I'm part of my role and purpose is understood without having to say it. We both understand that if she can stop working tomorrow, I will have to continue to produce. We already have that we already know that. So if I've already made that decision that I'm just not going to do that, I know that potentially could be on the table. When it comes to men, I think it's actually better early on, even prior to marriage, to have this conversation about threesomes, about the idea of stepping out, about whether we're exclusive monogamy. I actually think it's better early on to have that conversation, so you're not waiting until these volatile moments to then try to have the discussion. If she already was not having sex with you, and she already is withholding things from you, so trying to do honesty then and there is already problematic, and then trying to work it out with her is going to cause a lot of issues if she still doesn't want to come through with it. So my suggestion is, if you're honest from the beginning, then she already knows what's on the table if she decides to renege.
So I disagree with that, my brother.
Dude, that's fine, and that might work for you. That might work for you.
No. So let me get
with
my
Raphael, with Jonathan, with Smell the Roses. That I believe that people who are getting it are understanding that the way in which I'm going to be able to maintain a long-term marriage and relationship in 2025 is that I actually have to establish this foundation from the beginning.
Right. So there's a problem with what you're saying, and this is why Andrew Wilson and Coach Greg Adams had this conversation right here. You can't control a woman changing her mind. Mika and majority of women already have professed the fact that most women don't listen, most women don't cooperate, most women are going to do things that's benefiting them. So even if you get a woman to do all these things, you told her from the get-go, hey, I'm going to be dealing with multiple women, I'm going to be having threesomes, and she says okay in the beginning, that's good for right now. Like Fatty says, most of these sisters change their mind. And I'll tell you one more, to double down on certain things. The more phenomenal the man is, the more she believes her worth goes up, and she'll compromise that man even faster than the man that isn't working as hard as that man as well too. Because a lot of men who have to extend themselves typically are showing a woman that he needs something else outside himself to get this woman. But the problem about what you're saying, and not saying that it should be that way, is the fact that even if you break down all those things and she concedes to that and commits to that, Raphael is the only person that I know can read the stats right. Most of these marriages are ending because of lack of commitment. She's not going to commit to what she commits to. The same reason most women get with men is the same reason they leave them. They liked it at the beginning, they don't like it at the end, or they didn't like it in the beginning, and now they like it at the end. And what Fatty was talking about, they'll beg to get back with you. So if we lived in a society where women honored their word and their word went in the sand and the water can just brush it off, I support what you're saying 100%. But most of these women change their minds, brother.
Everything you said is true.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, Raphael, thank you so much, man.
Everything you said was true, except the part about you're not a liar if you do what we say. That's the only difference. You're just not a liar.
Yes,
you're not a liar. Like everything you said is exactly factual. That a woman could change her mind at any time.
So,
but you're not a liar. That's the difference.
The thing is y'all are right again. One thing is what is right, another thing is what it works. What is right is you're informing this woman in advance what you're going to do, so she has no excuse afterwards when the rules actually are enforced. The problem is if the average man goes to the average woman and says, I will have other woman during a relationship, they're gone because they are not special. She'll find another one. So you advocating for these men that are not tall enough, have money enough, are special enough, you are literally putting this man in not a zero-sum game, but in the catch 22, because either is going to be honest and is going to lose the woman because he's not special enough for the woman, in the woman's opinion, so she can have to share him, or you are not going to say it, and then when things happen, you are going to actually lie to protect your family and to make sure that what's good for society happens.
There's no lying to protect your family. You wouldn't even have a family with her if she's not in agreement. Like, she can change her mind at any time. What I'm suggesting is establishing a relationship on you're using the same manipulation tactics that you're shaming women about when they get in the marriage.
Absolutely not. Because if a woman
respectfully, absolutely it is. If you're shaming women for lying and omitting things once they get in the relationship and get what they really want, men are lying on the front end and then being able to hide stuff once you get in the relationship. What I'm suggesting is reverse. Now, your argument is a legit one. Then you just have to become the man that can be able to be honest from the beginning.
Absolutely. But the problem with this conversation, once again, is that y'all don't deal in reality, because women definitely should lie to men if they manipulate them for good. You might not be proud of me and you see me tired, but you saying I'm proud of you. Let's go and let's get the money. If you're lying, I'm going. If you're lying, I might be too little for you. Like this woman moan extra. This woman moan extra to make you feel good. This woman
get a Gucci bag.
Get a Gucci bag.
These women know how to use manipulation for good. So I would say to that woman, use the said manipulation. You know your man, you know his ego. Use it for the betterment of both of y'all, not just you when you want what you need. Because if I have to put the spinach around the bacon for my kid to eat some spinach, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to lie to you. Here is the bacon. Nah, motherfucker, you are going to get the spinach.
Fatty, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
I got you, Oscar.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll ask you. I once again agree with what's right.
We both agree. We both agree.
Me and Ali fight about this all the time.
We fought it out for years.
Yes, it's like technically you should do what's right.
but on a world of savages, who gets the prize? The man that does what he has to do, or the man that does what is righteous, and now he's homeless, and now he's losing his family, and now he's having everything on his life compromised because he didn't have the balls to actually do what he needed to do, which a lot of times is lie. Like, what
I have a question. So I have a question. Jonathan, do you feel like you're winning?
100%.
I feel like I'm winning.
100%.
And that's
no
one.
doubt.
And then number two, I've done both of these strategies. I've done both these strategies. I'm married twice. I'm married. This is my second marriage. I've been married twice. I've done both these strategies, and I'm telling you, it is far more effective if all men moved in accord with doing this.
So
because you're actually because what's happening is it's only the men that me and Jonathan are apparently doing this, and now we're getting the outcomes that everybody's claiming that is not possible anymore. And what I'm suggesting is, the men that are giving the feedback and advice and recommendations are the ones that's not leading towards the outcomes that's leading towards the success that we're claiming that's creating the issues in the first place. If you want the households to stay together, if you want these relationships to come together, if you want people to stay in the same home, it actually starts with how you build the foundation. So women can change their mind at any time, and if it happens, it happens. But what I'm saying is, if the ideal situation is to make sure that a woman knows up front what can happen if she moves a certain way, all you have to do then is move accordingly. Either she accepts it or she doesn't. But you can leave that relationship with integrity and knowing that you are honest and upfront from the beginning of what the consequences are of somebody taking a ring from me, taking my last name, allowing me to have children with them, and not honoring their vows. If you want to change all of that, that's on you. But now, if my wife wanted to leave me today, I can walk away with integrity and knowing I was honest,
your head held high,
always up front.
I have a question, and you got it right. So, if is self-reported, all the single women say they're living their best life. So you and Jonathan saying that y'all winning to me is irrelevant because married men have to lie to protect the integrity of their marriage. I would never expect a married man to come on YouTube and say, "Yeah, she's a meaning. She treats me bad." Y'all like everybody else.
I gotta bring my wife on here. She would love it so much.
And you are going to look like an ostrich next to her because she's going to talk.
Because
let me just finish my point, please. Right? Ask a brother. Did your first wife told you that she would love you forever and she will never leave you?
They all say that.
So honesty doesn't work.
Honesty works in the sense that
doesn't work. If she told you something,
I'll be honest why. And I'm saying this from a man of integrity that did cheat in a previous relationship. Honesty matters in terms of my personal integrity and being able to walk away with that, still carrying that with me. Because if she switched up, if she changed, I can walk away with knowing that I didn't compromise or I didn't lie. I didn't hide anything. So regardless of the type of woman she showed up as, I showed up in such a way that I'm not proud of as a man.
Right. But when you first came on here,
so for me to be able to put myself and build myself and put myself in a position where I can be upfront with women, upfront about. So when I go on a date with every single woman prior to meeting my wife, and I say, I don't cook, I'm not going to cook. That's not like me cooking is probably once a month. That's not on the table. You don't want to have sex with me? This is what the option is. If you don't want to work anymore, I'm still willing. So when you put those things up front, you can, I'll say it this way. When you've lost a marriage over doing what the suggestion of what you guys are suggesting, I don't think you understand. It's not just that you lost access to the relationship and potentially your kids. It's also the lack of integrity and that you had to carry around with you as a man that
you've lost access to yourself as a man.
Yeah,
and
like,
Fatty,
you
I actually
realize,
don't even
like,
believe you would ever want to cheat on me.
Can I say something real quick? Look at me in the mirror.
Yes,
I got you. Look at me in the mirror. And Angela, I know Angela wanted to say something, so I apologize. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I like the idea of being transparent. I think sometimes it gets by because it's not even a thought because she is doing what she's supposed to do in the beginning. So I don't see, if you guys meet and everything's being taken care of, a man just bringing that up to have the conversation. Like, listen, if you don't do this, if a certain amount of time passed by, because that's not an issue yet. So I think sometimes men expect it to be the same way down the line. That's just, my opinion. I do like that idea, but
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
like sometimes it goes like that.
these are a lot of when I do divorce counseling, when I do couples counseling, it usually stems from conversations they didn't have earlier on when they weren't having the issues to begin with. It usually is better to talk about money, talk about infidelity, talk about all these scenarios before you walk across that aisle. So people who do, a lot of couples wait until something happens to now say, now we need to talk about it. What I'm suggesting is being more proactive, not reactive.
So and I agree with you. Just to make sure when people clip this, I agree with you. If you actually are worth something, if you are the average man, if you are the average man, you are not going to get away with this shit. You are going to be penalized every time you're trying to be honest, while 5 men are on their DMs competing with you and lying to her every day. You are
I do think that some women will find it offensive.
So
if you tell them, yeah, I know, so right,
no,
but you know,
right. So for number one, ask a brother.
Yeah.
Most women throughout your whole life told me, tell me the truth and let me choose, and she chose the lie.
But it's not true.
She skipped over you. Number
so
two,
like that's
but
no,
let me ask a brother. Let me
do it.
Number two, when you first came on here, you went against the rhetoric of Jonathan and Mr. Raphael, which you would have to concede to. They probably compromising themselves to make their women happy. They're not telling them the truth. We're conflating being deceitful and cheating with telling the truth about what happens in a relationship that makes you happy and how you want something to go your way. The next one, you're not a leader if you can't change your mind inside of a relationship. It's not the fact that women should be able to change their mind. They exercise their masculinity by changing their mind when they get in a relationship and want to be the dominant person to assert themselves. If you get in a relationship and you started it one way and you want to switch it to something else, that's you as a man, as a leader, wanting to change it. So we're conceding to the fact which got to destroy the red pill rhetoric, finding her how she is. You should have vetted her. You should have saw the red flags. You're never the leader. If she changes her mind, you're already compromised. If you can't change her mind, you're still getting her to commit to something that you believe will make her be loyal to you. But at the end of the day, she's actually loyal to yourself. And majority of these women who are actually extremely mature and develop with us as well too, listen to our talking points, they'll bait and switch. Most intellectual women bait and switch. So just like a man will lie to a woman to get sex from her, a woman will go ask a brother, you want me to share you with other women? Fatty, you want me to share? You know what? I'll do that. You want me to pay for this date? I'll do that. You want me to dress like I'm supposed to? I'll do that. Let me get that ring. Let me get that commitment. Let me get that investment. As soon as I get them 8 years, them 10 years, checkmate, I got you. So it's very problematic telling men that they can't change their mind, and that when you get this woman, tell her everything from the beginning, and then you're going to get a loyal woman, which is not what typically is going to happen.
You don't guarantee that.
I feel like in today's climate too,
that's not the reason.
But
you can guarantee female behavior.
You get it.
You're just stating the consequences and leaving and walking with integrity.
That's the problem.
But Ali, what you're suggesting though is putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, like cheating to get your peace while you're in a sexless marriage is just a Band-Aid on a gunshot.
So, hey, Jonathan, that's
so it's not going to work. You're still going to bleed out. So why are you going to compromise?
Because Ask a Brother already told you the truth when he came on here. He just said what I said. If most men told women the truth, we'd have no relationships. Majority of these relationships are only working because a man makes a woman feel good and he caters to her happiness. If he actually did what made him happy, most relationships are ending today, right now on the spot. If men didn't lie, this world isn't revolving. Jonathan, I can bet you 1,000 times you lied to your, hey, babe, how great. You look great. Am I the only one? Yes, I'm the only one. Do you want to go out? Do you want to go shopping today? Yes. Do you want to buy me this? Yes. Men don't never tell women the truth. We are conflating with deceitful cheating. Let's throw cheating out the book. Okay, let's throw cheating away. Most men, to keep their relationships functioning, cater to that woman, and they do what makes her happy to appease her woman. They'll take the, damn, I ain't feel like doing that. Dang, I felt like having sex today. Damn, I ain't feel like her mom and dad coming over here. Damn, I ain't feel like going over here. Damn, I ain't feel like lending her family money. Damn, I ain't. Let me fit, Jonathan. You're gonna get.
Fatty was the one that said that we got to be upfront and honest and not pamper these women. Just tell her the straight.
Can I add something else when y'all finish?
Angela, you get it right after me, and Jonathan, you get it.
And friends, we have to make a super test and go to the main event. Okay,
marriage is for a woman. For a man to cut his nuts off and say, I'm gonna engage in monogamy and I'm only gonna take care of you and nobody else, and I'm gonna give you my savings, my money, my protection, my life, is already for a woman. That's how we know they already lead. But we don't be honest about it. So if a man already caters to her version of a relationship and you still don't get what you want, We know she's the narcissist. We know she's the selfish person. And for the most part, all the yeses in the world get you no from her still. That's all I'm saying. And ask a brother. For the minority of men that's getting what you're getting, if you're telling the truth, it just means you have a good woman that's with you. And Jonathan, you may have a good woman too, even though your rhetoric was different from his rhetoric, because it may be you making her happy. All I'm saying is this: for the most part, when men commit to a woman, they change their mind and they'll pick somebody else to do what they want. And once they change their mind, that's all I'm saying. Angela, what you were saying, and Jonathan, you got to get to the super chat.
And then Jonathan, and we have to go to the super chats, and then we go to the main event. Okay, friends. Thank you very much for the 500 people watching in all platforms. Please like the video. The likes are for free. I would appreciate y'all if you could do that. Thank you very much. And please help us reach the goals that are rolled in the bottom. Support the show, Ilkan on the Cash App or Team 38, and let's get the members up too. Go ahead, at least you got it.
Yeah, I feel like especially in today's climate, like even though I like the idea of being honest up front and things like that, like as the guy above me said, if you say to a woman up front, like, listen, after 3 weeks or whatever, I don't actually I'm coming home, she's liable to call you a misogynist. And not even accept
like why would
you
we be
being
scared?
honest. So
how about,
I understand you're saying, Ann, but like in the mindset of other men, it's
all right. And Angela, I
it's
really
just the mind frame today.
Yeah, I appreciate your feedback about what Ali and a lot of the fatty is saying about, so basically men should just lie. This is my lens and viewpoint. If men in mass started doing what I'm suggesting, first of all, I don't think men realize what the leverage we actually have in the dating market today. More women are single than ever before. Single mothers are out of the woodworks. They're getting close. Winter is coming. So y'all by the time we get to 2030, 2035, cat food prices are going to go up. A lot of stuff is going to change. Winter is coming. It's getting real. So a lot of the reality is
still don't
we're
care
talking about whether or not a guy going to cheat or do something on the side. A lot of them, their options is going to be sharing a man anyway 10 years from now. So I'm just exactly.
They can't accept the truth. That's like I said, they're gonna call you a misogynist. I agree with what you're saying.
So again, what Jonathan said, what I said, and I think Jonathan agreed. A lot of what I'm suggesting is about the integrity of the man, what he can leave and enter in and walk away with. You can enter in with integrity and you can leave with integrity because you were upfront and honest from the beginning. And the woman can change her mind at any time. That has nothing to do with the character of the man that was honest and upfront and straightforward all the way through.
Ask a brother. You know why I respect you?
Yeah.
Because you are telling men to do what's right, but you are not telling men what's actually going to get them the win. You are right. Like I have this saying that I know. Nobody in this place said this since the day I'm getting here. This is what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We are raising men to do what's right, while we raise women to do what's right for them. We are raising men to do what's right for society, for the kids, for the woman, for the relationship, for the country, while we raise our daughters to do what's right for them. Be careful. He wants to have sex with you. Be careful. Don't be like this is what is happening. So you are.
I really think, bro.
So respectfully, I respect you because you are actually telling men to be righteous, but you are sending men with the knife to a gunfight. This is what is going to happen. Is they're going to get there. They're going to play by the book. And you are going to notice that for whatever reason, the men that play dirty get the best results, are the men of these women's lives, are the men that these women complain about, but always have kids with them, live with them, go back to them and all that. While the guy that is actually doing what's right is always get the short end of the stick because he was honest and he was righteous and he was upfront. And now he's getting bamboozled because instead of actually using the cards that he has, and put him next to his chest so nobody sees them so he can control the relationship better. He says, here you go. I have a ace of spades. I have a king, a queen. Let's be honest about it. Gotcha.
I just don't know how you win in that situation. Like, how do you win when you pour your love into a woman, but then also pour your body into another woman? I just don't see how you win.
All I'm going to say, and I'm going to go, fellas, real quick. All I'm going to suggest all I'm going to suggest real quick is, based off of what I'm recommending, Jonathan's recommending versus what some of you all are what the other opposing sides recommending, based off of what we're both recommending, The dating market is the result of listening to who? The dating market and how trash and how bad it is based off of whose recommendation?
Women.
Women do what they want. Men do what they want. Nobody be honest. Everybody lie. Has that led to the outcome of what everybody complained about? What we talking about on the podcast right now? Because that's my lens. That's my lens is a lot of these broken homes, a lot of these broken relationships, a lot of these people can't be happy. Everybody talking about everybody's lying and hiding and all this other stuff. The reason why the market is what it is because everybody's doing that type of behavior. Everybody's listening to that type of advice. So my suggestion is that everybody started to move more like this, we would actually align better.
Yes, and you know what's funny? You will never have the following of Derek Jackson because this woman rather listen to liars than to actually listen to truth tellers. This is why you'll never win. Because for every woman that you are going to convert, for every woman that Jonathan is going to convert, Ace Metaphor is going to say "Chada," and he will have 10,000 women listening to him lying to them.
That's
money.
That's not a lie right there. That's bad.
For the one woman you got listening to you, you got 1,000 women saying bump what you saying for what Fatty's saying. Most of these women, three women we can get on here to conform. There's 1,000 women say, man, she a pick me. Don't nobody care what the hell she talking about.
Absolutely.
That's what we talked about earlier.
Why y'all think I'm here though?
Absolutely. They love
Why y'all think I'm here? Because listen, but why y'all think I'm here? Because in these spaces, very few black men are saying you need to be honest with women up front. Why you even think I'm here? Because there's almost no black men in the manosphere space saying be honest with women from the beginning. So the reason why our community looks the way it does, the reason why our relationships look the way it does, the way that our families look the way that it do, is because of a whole lot of men lying. A whole lot of men not being true and honest. What you say, Mika?
We said when they asked the question earlier, and they asked it to us, and I said, yeah, be honest and tell the truth. They want you to lie, but be honest and tell the truth. But at the end of the day, we already had this conversation. No, the women aren't. The women don't want to hear it from you, nor do they want to hear it from other women.
Yeah,
and that's just that's just the truth. And at the end of the day, we can't do anything about that because this is the environment right now.
And by the way, before you go, you know when women actually listen to you, Eska brother?
What?
When they have no way out.
Hey, I'm on the other side of the wall. I'm waiting for y'all. Come on, ladies.
Is the rebranding?
You got 3 kids. You divorced 3 times. Now you ready to listen to me. Now send the offering plate. I'm here to now. This is the truth.
But you see what I'm talking about. But she didn't win to you because your message changed. She went to you because she needed the rebranding. They go to y'all, they go to the church, they will go to the conservative woman that they will call pick-me's for 10 years, and they will associate to them and says, a woman should be submissive to a man. Not because she actually wants that, it's because she wants a retirement plan. I want a God-fearing man. Why? Because the Bible says that you should provide to your woman, so now they want a sponsor. All of these is performative. These women have superpowers. They were born with the biggest superpower in the planet, which is having a coochie in the middle of their legs. And only when they lose their superpowers, they start to listen to people. While they are Power Rangers, they are flying around, calling the Megazord, teletransporting and all that. As soon as the titty starts sagging and the eggs are not there, and all of a sudden, Jonathan, what is your opinion about how I should get a man? It's always like this. You can't.
Patty, when you have your wedding, make sure you invite me. That's all.
And I've got to come too, and let's go for coffee.
I appreciate Charlie. It's going to be the biggest shit show ever. So everybody's invited for Fatty wedding. I appreciate you, Eska brother. Thank you very much for being here. And I'll read the super chats to friends because we need to go to the main event and we have to wrap it up. So once again, thank you very much to all the people watching the show. 400 and something people. Please like the videos where you are. Let's get the super chats real quick.
It's time for some super chats.
Shout out to Mr. Let me say the first name, Mr. Joseph. Thank you very much for the $25 via Cash App. We appreciate it. Very much to my brother Carl Anderson for the $35 via Cash App. Friends, the goal today is $150. We are halfway there. So please, if you are enjoying the show, support the content creators, make sure that you bless us with a Cash App or a PayPal. I truly appreciate you. Thank you very much. On the super chat side, we have the lovely Doris in the building.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Member for 2 years. Thank you very much, Doris. I hope you're doing good. My brother Carl Anderson with one membership.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
He comes back with a second
Untouchable
membership.
Empire, baby.
And then he gives us 5 untouchable memberships, 7 untouchable memberships overall. He is the sponsor of the show right now.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Thank you very much. We have the lovely Misty with another membership.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
We have my boy Jack Carter in the building sending just money. Thank you very much, sir. We have Mama. She says, even when I don't want to, I do because that's my place. Look at you, lady. And we have Alpha with a $10 ball. Thank you very much, Alpha. We truly appreciate you.
Let's go. We got $10.
Sir, do you have any change?
Nah, motherfucker, I'm broke.
Alpha says a traditional based conservative woman is a virgin bride. All non-virgin brides on their wedding night are not traditional based on conservative woman fact. Based conservative woman fact. I have to tell the truth to a woman that doesn't even tell me the truth about her body count. Yes, I will do it for sure. Alpha in the building. It says all non-virgin brides are not entitled to honesty. Man, that's crazy. Mr. Technique in class is in the building, and he says, "Is the wife not representation of her husband?" Also, we have Depp. DH Aries is in the building, and he says, "When men say partnership, quickly give them a side eye." Then, shout out to Depp. We have Alpha back again. Says a non-virgin bride can be pregnant with another man baby. That is why I'm never going to be honest with non-virgin brides. We have my boy Theo in the building, and it says, there's something wrong. No, so there's something wrong with the man being in control of his woman and our relationship. Sounds like sophisticated jerk in the building with a $10 ball. Saying shout out to the panel. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. We have again Theo saying in control, able to direct the situation, person, or activity. Alpha back again. It says bad boy for life. I will never be honest with a non-virgin bride. I think virgins. I think he's not. Striking it rich, £5. Says deep down, every woman on the panel knows that Jonathan and Raphael are pandering. However, if you are creating or protecting a brand, then you have. Leave Jonathan alone. Striking it rich, leave him alone. Alpha, $5 says, I'm a Leo man, king of the zodiac. He's the king. If she catch me cheating, I will never tell her sorry. LOL, real talk, bad boy for life.
Trying to get open, fires away.
We have Al Nixon in the building with a $10 ball. He says, great panel audience, Fatty. If you are watching and you like the show, please support by getting the likes up, chat, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, El Nixon. I hope you're doing good. We have 15 to go. We have the lovely Zyrex with the Untouchable membership.
The Untouchable Empire, baby.
We need more members, friends. We need more members. Please become a member of the Untouchable Empire, baby. We have Rob in the building. Says, great convo. Super dope seeing Jeff on the panel. Thank you very much, even though I don't know if we have a Jeff on the panel. Zero Fallout with a $10 ball. It says CGA is 100% correct. Marriage is done in the West, 50% rate, but that doesn't take it into account those that stay together for the kids and sexless marriages. That brings goddamn marriages to 20%. Thank you very much, Zero Fallout. We have CBT Beats, Gifting, Rose,
The Untouchable Empire, baby.
And then we have my boy Matreon with our 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. Almost there, friends. We have. He has a down. Thank you very much, brother. I don't know how to say your name. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Eska, brother. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you. Salute to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deborah is in the building. She's studying. Thank you, Deborah, with the fire emojis. And then we have, once again, on Rose side, we have 3AM Thoughts Club and Lee Turner with memberships for
The
her. Thank you very
untouchable
much,
empire,
friends.
baby.
Finally, we have my brother Shadow Dragon TV gifting memberships to Fatty, Ali, and Smell the Roses 3 in a row. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. We're getting to the end. Zero Fallout says, when are we gonna talk about how women say men are predators, yet more men are being taken advantage of by women? Millions of men have been raped in divorce court, foodie calls, and false paternity. Oh, wait. Shooting from 3. Thank you, Zero Fallout. We have Matreon saying, most women, ego will not allow them to take that control away because they always have divorce on the table. And finally, we have these super chats. Unk be streaming says, Ali's right. Eska brother is missing the female right to reign on consent. So having the conversation at the beginning doesn't matter that much. The next one, we have Zero Fallout saying RP Red Pill has done more than these marriage counselors and Christians. Most of these new laws, like Kentucky, is a response when women can't extract money from men. The old system crash. That is real leverage. Striking Rich says, winter is coming. Is tired talking point. Women don't care. They would rather have fun in the summer of their life and struggle with their cat in the week. And then finally, Biggie's composition member for 14 months says, salute to the
untouchable empire, baby.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, friends, the main event, the reason why we are here. Okay, the reason why we are here. There was a debate between two very massive content creators on our space, Andrew Wilson from The Crucible and Coach Greg Adams, that promotes the free agent lifestyle. I'm very familiar with both of them. And the conversation ended up in an impasse because Coach Greg Adams has more of a negative, like doom and gloom type of approach where he thinks that we are done, the relationships are done. These women are not going to go back to God and the kitchen and being submissive and all that. And we have on the other side somebody like Andrew Wilford that's a little bit more hopeful that if these women go back to the Orthodox Church and they go back to getting all these systems where she can actually be incentivized, propaganda and all that, the women are going to go back to what was happening in the 50s, right? So my first question, and actually let me get Smell the Roses first, and then we go to the rest of the panel. The question is this. What if solutions like church marriage and anti-abortion laws work in reality? And I'll repeat it again. Like, do these solutions, like introducing the church's marriage, passing laws in certain states against abortions, like, do these things actually work in real life, or they're just, like we say, close your legs, and nobody closes their legs, and everybody keep opening their legs, right? Do these prescriptions actually going to work on a broader population, or you think this is the pipe dream? The church is not coming back to these women houses, and the abortion laws and all these are not going to make these women actually stopping from doing what they're doing. What do you think? Smell the Roses, and then we can get Alicia afterwards.
So I think that the way that church is currently done is not going to be effective for most people. So until until we start holding churches accountable for the things that they say they do that they actually don't do, I don't think that church is that was the one pushback I had with Andrew in that part. I just don't think people find church as valuable as they say they do. I know they get on dating show after dating show and come on panel after panel saying they want a man that is godly and puts God first, but it's pretty obvious that women aren't doing that anymore, and that the church hasn't been such a good a good representation of what God or the Bible preaches. So I don't think church is a good was a good suggestion, and that was my only pushback. Although it does work for me, when I find myself getting a bit too influenced by what I'm seeing on social media, or the things that I'm researching for my own content, church is therapeutic for me. But I don't think that is for the majority. And then the second part of your question, Fatty, what was it?
The second part was like if the United States, in like overall, like for most states, they pass like laws against abortion rights. Like we have Roe v. Wade being revoked in some state. Do you think that actually is going to stop women from doing what they're doing, which is having casual sex and be like more risky behavior and all that? Do you think that will actually stop women from indulging into those things?
I think that the percentage of women that go to church like me, for maybe for like 10% of women, if you took AB laws in full effect and you put them in every state in America, I think probably about 10 to 15% of women would change their would curtail some of their sexual escapades and maybe think about them a little bit more seriously. But for the majority of women, I think they will find a way to get that AB and keep living that promiscuous lifestyle.
Sophie, what do you think? To both questions, the church and the abortion laws. Do you think there's a way to actually get women back to do what they was going to do, or you think it doesn't work? Looking at the behavior of women right now in 2025.
I feel like we're so far down the rabbit hole. I do feel like church does help, but I do feel like a lot of women don't respect. A lot of modern women don't respect the ideology of church as much today, and I would hope that if they did fix some of those laws, that women would have to think twice about who they're sleeping with if they knew that they just could not go and just get the baby pulled out. But yeah.
So, like, do you have a positive? Like, do you think it will work, or you think nah? This is.
That's hard to say, but it's like how reckless people are now. I like Smell the Roses said, I do feel like there's a large percentage of women that would try to find other ways.
So they will still do it. They will just try to correct it in a different way instead of going to the clinic.
Yeah.
CEO, what's your opinion about this?
What's the question?
Damn. Church. Woman going back to the church and actually going back to the structure of the church and have it like propaganda, push them to be more of homemakers and all that. Does that work? Do you think that actually something that's going to make these women go back to what they were before, like we praise? And do you think abortion laws, if they were passed, if they were passed in the United States for the most part in most states, do you think that would kind of stop these women from having risky behavior, sex, casual sex, sex without protection, getting pregnant and all that? Like, do you think these two measures work or not?
I think women are always going to end up in the church later on in life, and I don't think the abortion laws are going to stop women from having risky behaviors. I think today's women are gung-ho on doing what they want to do, so that's what I think.
Blu-ray, what's up, man? Do you think?
What's up, fam?
How you doing, brother? Do you think this would work, or you think there's no chance that women go back to what they were before, even if church and laws are involved?
All right, so we got to put things in when we talk about the church. The church is the actual people, right? And we have people that actually go in the building, and then we have people that actually dictate their life based on the scripture. So, like the Bible says, the letter killeth, but the spirit give life. So just because I go to church does not mean that I value what the preacher is saying. That does not mean that I'm actually living my life according to what the Bible says. If each and every one look at our lives, any issues that we have, you can find in the Bible that we are violating the scripture in some shape, form, or fashion when we look at any mistakes that we make in life. So if they value the Bible and they actually apply it to their life, the church always works. We cannot let people go into church who do not value the Bible and who do not live according to the Bible dictate what the church is and who God is. Because when we live according to the scripture and we value this book, then our lives are lined up with what it says. So does it work? It works every time for those who actually apply it to their life. Like my grandmother, right? My grandmother was a preacher, all that. And I never seen my grandmother curse. I never seen her step out on my grandfather. I literally seen a perfect woman, in my opinion, because I lived with my grandmother and my grandparents, and the women that she associated with, all of them were in church. So I didn't have my grandmother and my family members going to church, and then when they got out of church, their life was 100% contrary to what they preached in the church. So I grew up around women that actually went to church and actually followed the scripture. So it will work for those who apply to, as far as, and so when you talk about the culture, who let the culture dictate their lifestyle, of course it's not going to work for them. And when it comes to the abortion laws, like I said, if you obey the Bible, you don't have to worry about getting an abortion.
What about you, Jonathan? What do you think about this topic?
I 100% agree with everything that Blu-ray just said. We all need more God in our lives. We need to follow the Bible. It's a book on how to win at life, is really in my mind. It's truly just a book. Whenever I'm in doubt, I ask what would Jesus do? I follow it. I try to follow his footsteps. I pray to God that I can follow his footsteps every single day, and that's the best I can do. So Blu-ray, I think you just put it perfectly.
Do you think most of these women are willing to actually look at the Bible as an instruction manual for their life, or do you think is a no-go for the quality of woman right now?
I think it takes a lot of courage for people to want to be a better version of themselves, and I think when people lack courage, men and women, by the way, and not just to throw more men under the bus for you, Fatty, but I think when we follow that in that path and that footstep, and we have that courage to want to lead a better life, indeed we can have beautiful relationships. Blu-ray, I'm sure your grandmother had a wonderful marriage because she cultivated that, and with honesty, loyalty, fidelity, trust, transparency, all that, right? So for me, that's how I choose my life.
So do you think, I have to flip the question because you kind of did. Do you think most women have the courage? I'm going to use your words because now is the.
No, I agree. I agree that a lot.
I think most women have the courage to look at the Bible and to the church and like allow more God in their life. Do you think most women are on that type of time, or they don't have the courage and they will keep being?
Fatty, I will 100% give you my own personal experience. I work with couples all day, every day, and a lot of the couples I work with, a lot of women don't have the courage to be self-reflective, and they want the man to be self-reflective first. And women struggle really hard to turn the lens back on themselves. And that's what I'm always trying to push them to do. I think it takes courage. And I think women, maybe it's out of self-preservation, I think, probably because men are bigger, stronger, deeper voice, that a lot of women have fear around, coming to a man and coming to their relationship saying, I've done something, or it's my fault. There's a physical fear there. There's a people-pleasing nature about women that they want to make sure that there's a physical safety, because again, men are bigger. So I think women are afraid to admit fault, admit wrong, and that is probably what makes it hard for them to be courageous at times. But I think what we need to do as men is to remind women that, yeah, you know what, you're going to be loved unconditionally. You can make mistakes. You can have the courage to be a better version of yourself, and I'm going to be here with you as you do that. Again, there's lines in the sand. My wife cheated on me. I wouldn't be with her. So So we all have our own lines in the sand of what we can forgive. I also think in the Bible, what Blu-ray didn't mention is the Bible teaches us forgiveness, and it is the hardest thing that all of us have to master. It's the thing that none of us want to get good at, and we all would turn to sins of the flesh and our own self-soothing behavior if that means that we don't have to forgive, right? And what we need to do is cultivate that forgiveness. So, but yeah, I think women struggle with courage to be better versions of themselves just as much as men. And I actually think that they have a more difficult time even seeing that they need to have the courage to change and expect change.
Somebody in the chat said they are not afraid of the respect men, but they don't have the courage to actually follow. Like saying we are seeing the most disrespectful generation of women that rather pick the bear than pick the man, but they are afraid of men because men are more physically imposing and all that. I think a bear probably doesn't have the physical complexion to actually get this woman in line. And I'm not trying to be funny, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
I will let. I don't know if I want to play these, but Ali, sorry, I apologize.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus?
Amen. Mika.
You guys, really quick, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Thank you very much for being here, Sophie. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Y'all have a good evening, okay?
You too.
Thank you very much.
You too.
Mika, what do you think? Do you think the church and these laws, the abortion laws, are going to make the genie go back to the bottle, or do you think the genie doesn't want nothing to do with these things?
So I'm going to say this because I have to go as well. But I'll say this. When it comes to the church, okay, the church, in my opinion, especially when you start categorizing different communities, the church is one of the main pillars of the problem. The church.
Whoa.
Let me finish.
That's interesting, Mika.
Yes, one of the main pillars of the problem, and that is because these churches today.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, I don't know. But that is because the churches of today are not actually about teaching the word. The churches today are about appeasing who's going to keep the church afloat. Women tend to, as we know, be more emotional, be more in their feelings, things like that. So if you speak to things that speak to that, they tend to be more they tend to be more active in these churches. And so when you have a congregation based off that, you're not going to dig to the part where they need to be accountable. Because once you start holding people accountable, and the good feeling goes away. And once the good feeling goes away, so does the money. And so with that being said, they don't want to promote what should be done. It's what you guys were saying earlier, what's right and what they're doing is two different things. And lately, all I've seen is all of the chicks that people want to say are 304s or this, that, and the third, they all go to church. Usually right there in the front, they know the pastor, Jamal Bryan, and everybody else. They know them. Okay. They know all of these people. And the reason is because they are the ones supporting these churches. So no, I do not believe that the church would be any help because they're helping perpetuate exactly what the rest of society is doing, if not on a grander scale, because they have been mostly ordained, so they have to be correct. And then when it comes to abortion laws, no, I do not think that will help either, because we have dehumanized people in the womb. They are now clumps of cells, fetuses, things like that. right? And we don't see something as human. So if we don't see it as human, we don't identify with it. We can't feel empathy. We sure enough don't feel sympathy. So therefore, it's easier to bypass what should be, especially for women, a mechanism that kicks in, especially something that's attached to you, something that you can actually feel. We end up bypassing all of that because we have detached ourselves from it. So you can get rid of the laws. They're detached from it existing as a human. They're detached from it being something that's a part of them, to the point they're calling babies in the womb parasites. And this is being backed up by science. So essentially, science and the community is doing exactly what the church is doing, supporting every last bit of it. So no, the church and laws won't help.
What about you, Raquel? What do you think about these two measurements? We think women are in 2025 are open to it, or you think is a no-go, not going to happen? Uh-oh.
I gotta go, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mika,
appreciate
for
everybody.
pulling up. We
Bye.
appreciate you, Mika. Thank you very much. See you later. You're not confident, Raquel?
No, that the church is going to change, or what was the question? Like,
If do you think if women like if we start to push past propaganda, do abortion laws, and actually put the church in a position where they can get to these women, do you think that these women are going to be open to actually do that, like stop having casual sex or more sex that leads to more like risky behavior? They're going to behave more like wives. They're going to actually listen to the church, be submissive, stop denying your husband sex. Do you think women in 2025 are ready for that and they're going to listen to it, or you think it's a lost cause? They'll never do that.
no, not in 2025. Maybe after the SNAP benefits never come back and the housing vouchers don't go out anymore. I would say closer to like 2028. To be honest with you, they're going to have to be brought down to their knees. I mean, because feminism has just gotten that big and that out of control. It's just a monster. So the church has to get itself together. Then the church has to come out and bring the people on the outside back into the inside. They're going to have to explain what submission means, because we don't use words properly anymore. And I like how Jonathan was saying earlier, it's not about control, it's about what were you saying, Jonathan? It's not control.
Consequences.
It's consequences.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really like that. Like if we explained things better and took the money, the money glasses off and just got down to the brass tacks of what the Bible says, and this is how, we are going to move on as a society, and men put their foot back down a little bit, instead of worrying about the Me Too movements and all of that crap that was coming about because of feminism. Not that Me Too movement, not that, of course, we don't want women to be hurt in any kind of way. I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying that feminism has just gotten that big that it's going to take a while to get women to want to acquiesce to that more traditional way that we started out, I guess, in society since marriages existed.
You know what's hilarious, Raquel? Like when Andrew said for a woman to go to a particular version of Christianity that is very small compared with the other big ones. The ironic part is that I've been saying that feminism is the biggest religion in the planet right now. These women actually look at feminist principles like it's their doctrine.
Like it's a
right?
Bible. Yes.
Right?
It's absolutely so scary. I agree with you on that.
So it's kind of hilarious that he thinks that like the conditioning that we're going to actually, like, if you put food in front of somebody, like they're the one. If I'm addicted to fast food,
I'm not going to eat rice and broccoli or whatever you put in front of me. It's not that I can find it. I know in the supermarket exactly what the aisle I should avoid and what the aisle I should go. It's available, it's there. But if I'm used to go to the pizza and the hamburger section, that's exactly where I'm going to go. And the rest of me is going to be noise. Like, it's not that these women don't know where to find these. They only go there when they have no more hope. Like, it's like a homeless person or a person that is going to lose their shit and know there's money. You know where he's going to go last? He's going to go to the church. Please, can we get some food? Please, like, that's what it is. That's what happens. Is it literally the last stop, the last. If I have a problem, let me go to the church because I think they're going to help me. And for the most part, I think these like the laws. Come on, man. These women going on in mass to Colombia to get BBLs. Do you think they're not going to go to Mexico to get an abortion? Like, you really think that these women are willing to spend thousands of dollars, get all their ish fucked up for weeks, having a very complicated, like, they will do that in the back of a hotel like they've been doing if they don't have the money for. If there's not a clinic, they'll find a place to do it. These women are risk takers. They're not going to stop doing something because they has dire consequences, because sex is one of those things, and they're not stopping. They're not going to stop. They're not, unless they get caught, unless it's beneficial to them, they're not going to do so. And just to wrap it up, you can sell religion to a person that will change religion if they deem necessary. And I don't think people actually understand, if I can convert you to Islam, if I am a billionaire or I'm a millionaire, and I can come to the West and pick a woman, and now Janet Jackson, Rihanna, whoever the woman of the hour, now you become a devout Muslim, or Brittany Renner. If I know that as long as I have enough money and power, I can come on the West and make women change 90%. My 90% of them can change their religion so they can actually have access to the money and riches that I have. How can I'm going to convince a woman to actually stick to one? She will stick to one if it's beneficial to her. And as soon as it's not beneficial to her, she'll find a way to actually go ahead and pick either other one or doesn't pick one at all. So, not going to happen, unfortunately. Coach Greg Adams is, even though I think he lost the debate because we're talking about being technical about what wins and what lose, contradictions and logical entanglements and all that. Just because you are not a good debater doesn't mean that you are wrong about the synopsis that you actually do about reality. And that man is 1,000,000,000% right about reality. The problems that we're having right now are going to take decades to actually solve. And the men that are choosing to get married today, either they're going to eat the shit sandwich or they're going to eat a sandwich with shit. Like, one or the other. Pick a side. You might be lucky like Jonathan, but most of us, unfortunately, are not going to have the luxury of actually have a great relationship where we don't get ransacked by the end of it.
So you think CGA lost? Because I looked at it like they both won on different ends of the spectrum. I didn't see it like that, but
so why do you believe that he won?
Well, because like coming out the gate, like his first rebuttal to Andrew when he said to Andrew, like it's pointless because they don't see the value in the church. Like like I was just saying right now, like it's going to have to. It won't be until like 2028 until they see the value in the church. So all of those great things that Andrew was suggesting, though I do think that he's right, and that's how I live my life, like how him and his wife live. CGA was right in that what he's saying essentially what you all and us are saying here.
Yes.
The women aren't going to go for it. They're not going to change. They don't see the value. Feminism. The only thing that he didn't say was the feminism part, like what you just said. The feminism is the bigger Bible of it, but it definitely landed. Like when he said that, I was decorating the Christmas tree. I had to like step down, like, damn, that's cold, but it's the truth.
So the thing about debate, but the thing about debate is not who agrees with you, is about who can defend their position better and doesn't contradict themselves. There's something called sophistry, which is not a debate to be enlightened and to actually try to learn each other's position and try to get better. Is about winning. And what happens is, in the technicalities of what they did, he won because he is a professional debater. It's like that. It's a particular game. He was playing chess, and Coach Greg Adams was playing cards. Just because Coach Greg Adams actually has a better grasp of reality and he's actually telling it what it is, the problem with the debate per se was the technicality. So for our normies is who agrees with me is the one that actually won. For these debaters is who defended their point better, because a lot of times they come on a show to defend positions that they don't even believe. They just want to see who is actually able to actually defend that position better. So I believe that Andrew won clearly the debate, but Coach Greg Adams is giving you the raw deal. He's giving you exactly what you need to know about the situation in dating right now. The problem with Coach Greg Adams' rhetoric is that he is the final boss of the red pill. Most of us men are one blowjob away from going back to the plantation. We come to this place so we can know how to deal with women, so we can get more money, so we can get more muscles, so we can understand women better, just to go back to the street and to try to get a woman. All of this what we're doing right now, getting more money, more status, more is literally to go back to the street and to pick up a woman just to improve yourself. So most men will never going to listen to what Coach Greg Adams has to say, because Coach Greg Adams is a realist, and most of us need hope in our life. We need somebody to tell us, "You can do it, brother. Go ahead, you got it. Just be strong. Just swim a little bit faster." And most of these men are going to deny that because we are not on this place to actually make peace with reality. We are on this place to find ways to get control and get respect and get love from the woman that we love. So his message is probably the harsher message that we have inside of our space, but is the most realistic and the most real, because there's nothing you can say about what he's saying. What he said is the state of relationships, and there's no God in any shape or form when it comes to dealing a lot of times with this woman, because their God is conditional. Is conditional depending. Is conditional depending of is beneficial to their life or not. And y'all taught me, because I'm not religious. The devil knows scripture too. So just because you put I want the God-fearing man and you know how to recite Bible and all these things doesn't mean that you actually not engaging or engage in these behaviors. Go ahead, Blu-ray. I apologize.
Nah, you good, family. I look at Coach Greg Adams and that debate like this, right? What Coach Greg Adams said, he said some truths, but it doesn't apply to the world, doesn't apply to it. We speak in generalities, and then the same thing with Andrew. But I grew up in a society and in a household based off what Andrew depicts, right? Because like I said, I grew up with my grandparents. And so every relationship, like between my aunts, uncles, and everybody, was a religious, moral, scriptural based lifestyle. And so I didn't deal with kids out of wedlock growing up, people getting divorced because people were cheating, because the people that I grew up around actually valued the book in real life. They just didn't talk about it, they actually lived it. So I look at, if I had a life or based off Coach Greg Adams' theology, and is it Andrew Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, Andrew Wilson's reality. All day long, I will pick a reality based on the concept of what Andrew preaches over Coach Greg Adams.
Ali, you have any opinion about this? Then we go.
I'm trying to figure out what I missed, where I thought Coach Adams won when he was talking about the state or the church can't keep a woman married. What part? It seemed like Andrew was still doing the debate bros thing, like prove it and just saying things.
Ali, remember a day before the debate when we were having a conversation, I was saying, say that without saying if. And you could keep saying if. And I was like, no, don't say if. Let's talk about the if. Debates a lot of times is, like you say, if is me putting myself on a position and see if I have a logical entanglement that doesn't make me contradict myself.
right? And remember when I started to debate, like we thought the debate was being right. It was not about being right. It's about winning. It was about making the person in front of you contradicting their opinion. And just because he said something that was very right, just because he says something that contradicts that, now all of a sudden says, haha, got you, I won. You contradicted yourself.
But what was the based off the, let's say they both can be ignorant, they both can be nasty, right? What was the contradiction that he caught him in outside of saying
it's for example the conflict, not the conflict, the mitigation of divorce. Both of them talk about mitigating like factors that is going to actually take you to divorce. First he said no, it's not about mitigating divorce, and then he said yes, it's about mitigating divorce. And if you actually look at that debate, there are certain points where coach kind of contradicts himself or double talks, not because he's bad faith, but because he's not a debater. Andrew Wilson has 1,000 debates under his belt. If
but
you
he's
catch
also a divorced person too, so he's speaking from like a different experience than Andrew can ever speak from.
Both of them are divorced.
Oh, they both are.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, but there's the thing. In a world of if, you don't have to defend yourself. In the world of if, you don't have to defend your track record, because if is conditional, is ideal. If this happens, this happens. So
I get it now.
While coach was kind of talking about
I
his
thought that was the way he was talking.
Coach Greg Adams was talking about himself and what he sees, and Andrew Wilson was talking about a hypothetical situation where
if
stars align, this and this happens, and this is the way that we're actually going to get. Yes.
But that's why I thought,
guys, I just want to jump in and say I gotta head out.
Hey, thank you so much.
And I missed the debate, so I don't have a lot to offer for this conversation, but it was such a pleasure to be here, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure to have you, my brother, man.
I appreciate you. Hey, friends, go follow Jonathan. Okay, the links are going to be on the
description. Jonathan, next time we're going to teach you how to simulcast, so you can simulcast.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. YouTube. Just invite me back anytime you guys want me back.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
Amazing, guys. Take care.
Thank you. So, like I said, is we are talking about two completely different things. Okay, I can say, who is the best lumberjack, Hulk or Thor? And Hulk with one punch can literally pulverize the whole forest, but that's kind of not lumberjacking. See what I'm saying? You kind of put put the trees down, but there's not lumberjacking per se. On this situation, we're talking about technicality versus real life consequences, real life application. I think once again, on the technicalities, Coach Greg Adams won, but when it comes to the real life application, he was honest. No, sorry, Andrew Wilson won on the technicalities, but when it comes to actually application in real life, there's no way that you think that these women are willing to go to your little church when even your track record show that, for example, your wife, the people that are on your congregation, all of them have a lot of interesting past. Let's go with that.
I have to go. Like they were even addressing the marriage rate in Catholics, Presbyterian, and it showed they had high marriage rates too. Like even if you're married, people aren't staying committed whether they follow God or not. The state isn't keeping people committed. Nothing's keeping these women committed unless they want to get committed. So I got to go back and watch what he got them on the technicality part, because everything that Andrew, like you said, was saying was if they follow God, if they was in the church, if they were doing this, everything was if.
Yes.
And where Coach Greg Adams was just speaking on reality, and when he tried to be ignorant towards Coach Adams, he just hit him back harder. He couldn't do the same thing that Andrew does to other people. So I'm trying to see which part where he caught him in the contradict. You said it's on the divorce part.
No. He contradicted himself multiple times. If you look at the debate, Coach Greg Adams, like I said, contradicting is not on a like he's not a contradiction in ideology. Is the double talk. Is the best way to get married, to not get divorced, is to not get married, right? And then he goes, and that's true, kind of true. And then he goes ahead and he talks about how you can like prenups don't work. How he's talking about the structure of the relationship, and basically when we're talking about marriage
and this is where he considered actually the debate, is debate good for men? He said, yes, marriage is good for men under the right conditions. There's a concession of a debate. It's a technicality, but if that's the prompt of the debate, is marriage good for men? And he says, yes, marriage is a wonderful institution, and marriage used to be good for men, and marriage is like, he believes in marriage. He just believes in good marriage. And this is what Andrew is selling. Good marriage is not selling bad marriage. Coach Greg Adams is not selling good marriage. He agrees that good marriage actually is good for people. He's just telling that most of us will not get it, and it's better for you to understand what's going on and to actually play your cards correctly than turn around and be hopeful and get the hope strategy and then figure out, like everybody else that is getting married, what usually happens on those situations. So, like I said, it's technicalities. That's why both of them wanted to debate the debate early, because Coach Greg Adams says, oh, so we agree. Yeah, the debate is a wonderful thing. We agree. If you don't want to talk about reality, I'm not going to talk about what ifs. Right? But the debate, if Ali actually paying attention to everything that we did on the last 2 years, everything is about hypotheticals to kind of get you out of your square, to make you contradict, and to make you say something that is contradictable. Oh, you believe in foreign intervention? Yes, yes. So you believe that Israel should attack Palestine? No. Ah, got you. Got you. I told you. Got you. He contradicted himself. He is very professional, is very technical, and is very ruthless. That's why they call themselves blood sport debaters. It's about winning. It's not about understanding. It's not about doing better for society. It's sophistry. So that's why I'm saying that he won, because I know what they are about. They are not about learning. They are about winning and embarrassing the opponent. And especially the way that Coach handled himself when he lost a little bit of control and he was left and right.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish he would have kind of like kind of reined in a little bit. It's like, you prepared for this. So yeah, that was
I gotta go. I thought Andrew was mad. Like Andrew was like he got mad like during the
But he
conversation. I
still
gotta go back and
maintained
watch.
his frame the whole entire time. He keeps
they-
the same frame from every
I gotta go
podcast.
back and watch the
They,
whole
they
thing. I
didn't
must
know
not.
they didn't know about each other, and now kind of like the fallout. Coach kind of figured out that Andrew wife had 2 baby daddies before Eve. So now it kind of is the fallout, and Coach kind of and Andrew wants to debate Coach again because he now understands who Coach is. So he's kind of afterwards, something like we're kind of prepared for the debate, and the fans kind of knew each other, but they don't know it.
Who had baby mama and Coach
Andrew wife as 2 baby daddies before he met him.
So why does he want to debate him again?
Because now they know that now they know each other's dirty laundry.
And because Andrew is like that. When Andrew thinks he didn't do a good job debating you.
Also, Andrew wants to debate him again, but Coach knows now.
Yes, but Coach literally said, if the debate was today, we wouldn't even go 1 day, 1 second, 1 minute off talking about you and your wife. Because technically they are the crystallization of reality. What we like a lot of times is people being honest, right? But just because you're honest doesn't mean that I'm going to accept. If you say I'm a compulsive liar, you're being honest. I'm not going to say, oh, hey, that's great. Let's talk. You're a compulsive liar. There's nothing to talk about. Andrew life, in my opinion, is the crystallization of what most men are scared of. A woman that got 2 divorces, that got kids out of wedlock and then got married. A woman that is, I think, 4 years older than Andrew. Like she was 29, he was 25 or something like that. And like I said, is if most people, if you are doing prescriptions and you think that you can save most of these women before they actually become the demons that they're becoming, why couldn't you get to your wife before all of that baggage happened? So the conversation is going to have a little bit of a
Daddy,
twist.
I did not know that. I have to.
I gotta go, guys. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, CEO. Thank you very much, brother. But the conversation is little is this debating. We don't want to make it personal. Shout out to Andrew and his wife. We want them to be very happy and successful and doing whatever they need to do. But like I said, for the most part, in my opinion, is like if you couldn't pull it out, what is the chance of the average man to pull this out? If your woman had to go to 9 years of turmoil to actually find you and marry you and all that, what do you think is happening to this average woman? Why do you think would your wife look at your church and at you if she was 21 instead of 29? And I think for the most part, we kind of think that not, because men usually don't leave relationships, and both of her husbands left her, which is a tremendous, like, is a gigantic red flag. Is you,
Are you
if men don't leave relationships like that, and both of your husbands are leaving you, there's something happening. Because one time is an accident, maybe two times. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know any
I had
woman.
no idea of any of this.
So she had 2 divorces by the age of 29.
By the age of 25 or 26, if I'm not mistaken. So she got kids. She got kids early. She got kids, got married, got divorced, and then got kids with the second dude, got married, and then got divorced. Both of the relationships didn't last, like, I think more than 3, 4, or 5 years. So basically, then she met Andrew. Andrew was not this person that he is right now. A couple of kids later, he becomes this big YouTuber and content creator, religious zealot, and all these. The message, perfect, sounds great. Respectfully, you can't even bar people that have these murky pasts from coming to your congregation and pretend they are they are delivered. I am delivered. I am not gay anymore. I like women. Right? It's like it's like, I don't know about this. Like I said, debating, pretty good debater, probably one of the best, if not the best. Real life application, I don't know.
You see, me, Freddie, I'm the type of person I respect real life action over your words. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the type of person, right? I've been a public figure for a long time because of, me training and who I trained. And I'm the type of individual, can't nobody come earn me out about nothing, because I'm not fake on no level. Anything that I preach, anything you get on my background, I can talk about it now, and you're not gonna find no dirty laundry on me, because I just always been I wasn't the type of dude that got notoriety and then got women. I had women when I didn't have a car. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So
I can see that. I can see that.
The thing is not holding your real life against you, because Kevin Samuels was a 2-time divorcee. You will learn a lot from people that had failed businesses, or people that like, see what I'm saying? Failure actually is a learning mechanism for a lot of people, and is a great way for you to look at it so you can avoid it. But only situation is like, it's damning. It's like y'all couldn't even do it yourselves. You see what I'm saying? It's like me preaching fitness, and you see me looking like this. See what I'm saying? It's like, we know, fatty. Yeah,
Hey,
the
let me say something,
caloric deficit. And
Hey,
you
can I
need
say
to
something, bro?
it's like, brother, you
Hey.
kind of right, but shut the fuck up. We know.
Fatty, why you are not fat, bro? You always kind of joke at yourself, but you're not fat, bro.
I'm not. Hey, sir, my name is Fatty for a reason. It's because I'm tall. But but you see what I'm talking about is, like, everybody. I think these people that lose 50 pounds, like, there's an 80 or 90% chance of you getting that shit back. See what I'm saying? It's not that people don't know what to do. Is that once these people get into certain types of behaviors, it's very difficult for them to not relapse. Either you be an alcoholic, you being on drugs, you addicted to food, you addicted to sex. If you was a hoe before, if you are a man that is about that life, it's very difficult for you to just stop. You might give it a break, which is most people do, But if you are a mean person, if you are an evil spirit, if you can't get along with people, if you're selfish, you might stop because you are new at the job, you have a new girlfriend, you have a new boyfriend, you want that house, you want that car, you want that kids. As soon as you complete the checklist, that's when you know the person is in front of you. As soon as you meet that woman in front on divorce court, that's when you know if that woman actually fucks with you. As soon as that man gets $1 million, that's when you know if that man rocks with you or not. Like most people
Facts.
get corrupted through power, and for the most part, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if these women are so powerful because their body is something that gives them attention, give them resources, give them all of these, I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can convince them to follow certain ideologies that are better for them when they don't think that the ideology is better for them at all.
So let's take somebody like Kevin Samuels, right? Like I did listen to him, and I like a lot of his, a lot of his messages and things that he preached. But I can rest assured that before he got money and notoriety, he'd have had the women that he had access to once he got the notoriety, and he was known for saying that he a trick, that he paid for women. I've never paid for a woman in my life. I'm not gonna pay it. If you don't deal with me for me, I'm not gonna deal with you. And I've had some of the best of the best. So I understood the entertainment versus who he really is, because if he didn't have the money that he had, if he wasn't paying for it, he wouldn't even have them women. Period.
Yes, but that's the thing, right? Is I don't see a problem with tricking, and like if you're honest about it, then you are tricking for a reason. I don't have no problem with that. Rather that than you trying to spend $1,000 impressing a woman that wouldn't even
sure.
spit on you if you are on, like if you were on fire. See what I'm saying?
100%.
Sometimes it's better to take it out of the way. Sometimes if you know that a $300 dinner is going to get the pennies already on the chair, it's better you doing that than a death by 1,000 cuts, and you have to give her attention for 3 months and sending her a message and talking to her and do this and do that. Like is you being practical and you solving a problem, because men usually are problem solvers.
No, so what I'm saying is this, right? I had friends that were millionaires, yada yada this, yada yada that. We all go out together, and they used to always say, "Trey, why you don't have to do the things that we do to attract women?" I say, "Bro, I'm gonna always be myself. I don't have to spend a certain amount of money to attract no woman. I believe in authenticity. Like I said, I've been having women since I was on big wheels. Girls always have been attracted to me. I've always had the gift of gab, so I don't have to be extra just to attract a woman. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that just being your authentic self, and women don't, at the end of the day, because you can only lie for so long. You can only try to trick somebody for so long. If you just spending money, a lot of women don't even respect tricks anyway, because they just want to get the money so they can go on about their business.
So Blu-ray, but this is the problem with this conversation, right? And a lot of times we confuse things. There's two conversations being have.
No, for sure.
Is getting woman, which you are very adept, and is keeping woman, which even high status men are not being able to do it. The Tom Brady's, the Jeff Bezos, the Bill Gates, the Michael B. Jordans. Getting woman is the introduction to this space. Keeping woman is the end all be all. And even the men that have very easy to with women, that they have the gift of gab, that look good, that have money, even those men are not keeping their woman long term. And this is what Coach Craig Adams is pointing out. If you are an overachiever, you are 6'3", you have money, you are the king of Boston, and you are the GOAT of the NFL, and you look like you're Clark Kent, and even you can keep your woman. Even the richest man in the planet couldn't keep his woman. Like, what are the odds of us actually doing it? Goes against the message, even with God. These people, like especially Brazilian people are hyper religious, way more than the American people. Like they are, everything is thank Jesus, God, Jesus. They score a goal, Jesus. They shake your hand, Jesus. Everything is Jesus. And their society doesn't reflect like what the words of Jesus are. They don't dress like it, they don't behave like it, they don't move like it. It sounds more like something that was put on your head, not something that you actually chose. This woman will not
choose Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whatever it is. If it doesn't benefit them, they will only choose it to tell you to pay all the bills, because the Bible says Blu-ray should provide. So I want a God-fearing man so I can go ahead and be.
Well, the Bible actually don't say that, but go ahead.
I don't know. I'm not. And by the way, Lamont, how you doing,
What's up?
sir? We did set you
Pretty
up
good.
because we like have like a no car policy, but because we are ending up the show, please go ahead and say our thoughts, and then we're going to read the super chats, and we are going to write these out. Friends, we still have some goals rolling in the bottom. If y'all can help reach us, I would truly appreciate that. Bless us in the Cash App, bless us in the PayPal, and try to get us a couple of members so we can have a little bit of a great weekend. I'll see you on Sunday, by the way, friends. Ladies first. Tomorrow I might do a panel. I'm not sure. Go ahead, Lamont, take us on, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I saw the majority of the debate, and I believe that CGA actually won the debate. Andrew there's a lot of things that he said was just factually inaccurate, and I'm the victim of a divorce as well, so I listened to CGA. I guess the main things with Andrew's position. Now, no one can honestly believe that making everybody become Christians, or what he called propagandized everybody to become Christians. That's not even practical. I mean, first of all, there's the separation of church and state and freedom of religion, so you can't make anybody be anything. That, as I see it, right, I guess we could revisit Andrew's position if and when he gets a divorce. But as I see it, the only way to fix relationships is to make family law courts, bring them back in line, 100% compliance with the federal constitution. Okay. 50-50 custody of children, unless somebody is adjudicated in a criminal court of child abuse, abandonment, or neglect. DNA test at all live births. Fault divorce becomes an option. And no fault divorce really becomes no fault divorce. A no fault divorce should be over in a month. It should not be lingering on for months, years. I know people that spent $1 million on a divorce. There's no way in hell that should happen to anybody in this country. So Coach Greg Adams' approach is a practical sense, trying to make sense out of the entire divorce process. Because, all it is in reality is just a financial scheme to bilk, the American public out of the marital estate. That's all it is. It's not complicated. It's just a scam to get, the money that was in the marriage, to get it in the hands of attorneys and the state.
Hey, Lamont, actually we need to review that debate. The lead attorney. He would be the best.
I'm not a big fan of the lead attorney. I'm not.
Yeah, you might not be a fan, but I think because they're talking about like there's no God in divorce, there's no God in marriage. There's very not. Like, I believe that the lead attorney like has the tools to actually dissect what goes in favor. Like, can you get the prenup if you're only married for the church? Like, what is the things that happen if like you are on the marriage by the church for 7 years with this woman, and this woman still goes to the court to try to get the palimony or whatever they call it? Like I'm saying, that should be a interesting like breakdown of what he thinks about what the both of them said, and if he's realistic or not.
Well, he had a lot of people, the lead attorney is a proponent of prenups because it's going to be work for him. He's a family law attorney. That's a red flag right there. Family law attorneys are the joke of the attorney business. No real attorney, a criminal defense, just about any other type of attorney, they laugh at family law attorneys because it's not real law. Okay. The lead attorney will come on and, he constantly promotes prenups, but there are no less than about a dozen valid ways to invalidate a prenup. I think it's got to be like 6 months before your wedding. You have to have a prenup already in writing by 6 months, or either side can argue that I was coerced. An attorney has to read it. It can't be as the man, it can't be you can't use your attorney to read it for your wife. She has her own attorney.
Yeah. So let me ask
it's
you
just there's a litany of.
Let me ask you a question then.
Go
Can
for
you
it.
get the prenup if you're married through the church and don't involve the?
Okay,
the
and
state?
yeah, what Andrew was talking about, like a marriage through the church, that was preposterous. There's no such thing. Okay. Now there was a time when the Catholic Church, that part is true. The Catholic Church went to the state, right, to say, let us rule over the marriages of Catholics. Okay, but it didn't go anywhere.
Mm.
Okay, so there's no such, everything Andrew was saying, that was complete crap. Only people who, like CGA is somebody who's, a very experienced, I think he went through his divorce without an attorney, but he pretty much litigated, learned the law. A lot of dads do this. They learn the law themselves. And the things that Andrew were saying were lunatic. None of that stuff is reality.
So, but the thing is, Andrew been through a divorce, his wife been through divorces, and they filed various motions from restraining orders to child support, to a bunch of things. So, I don't think a lot of times, I get it what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? Like the experience of going through it, but to me, it's not the experience they're going through it per se. Is what is the facts and the data that you're putting outside, and are they opinions or are they facts? And this is why I want to what he's saying, because like if he's going to give us his experience. I don't even care if they look at family attorneys in a funny way. As long as that family attorney been to court 1,000 times, he saw everything that he has to see, and he probably can give you a cool or a cool information without feelings, without his opinion getting in the way of it. That's why I want
that's a fair point. But see, my thing with family law attorneys is how they make money. Once again, is the liquidation of the marital estate, children's college funds, right? That's all. This is what
they are
pays family law attorneys.
They are looked at like ambulance chasers of like the family. They look at they're not very highly respected. That is true.
Well, I mean, because to the madam's point, family law, one of the main things that they talk about, one of the main things that they propose is what's in the best interest of children, right? Everybody's probably heard that before. Is it in a child's best interest to take the saved college fund that they have? This happens frequently in family law. Liquidate it and give it to an attorney so they can spend it on their children. Is that in this child's best interest?
No, no.
It's not. I mean, that's why, until we get, equity and fairness in family law, this is, in my opinion, what, because I even disagree with CGA about certain things. But his main point is until we get these laws fair, I mean, that's really, most men go to court and just want 50-50 custody. They don't want women go in there and they want to take everything from you. Okay. Men just want their children half the time. Right.
Well, I'm actually in litigation right now myself. So
yeah, the men just want their children half the time and are fought tooth and nail over that.
But all my friends got custody, and the women ended up on child support. Like I can literally call them on the phone. Like all my friends right now.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm in California.
I got.
Hey, talk about the other one, Trey.
I got taken to court.
The pew pew. Talk about the pew pew.
No.
Huh? Oh, you want to talk about this? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Change the subject real quick. So, I don't mean change the subject, fatty. So I apologize, but Ali wanted me to talk about this. So as far as earlier when y'all talking about being a protector, I got a friend of mine who a burglary happened between him and his woman, and he ended up like the intruders made it to the bedroom, and so he retrieved his firearm and covered his woman, and he ended up in a wheelchair. Let's just say that. And when he ended up getting out the hospital from protecting his woman. She actually dropped, he couldn't fend for himself anymore. His woman dropped him off at his mother's house and said she can't do this. 3 weeks after he got out the hospital.
I said it yesterday on Nino show. You don't have to go as far away as Charlie Kirk. Look at how his wife is behaving, right? Like, look at how he behaving. No tears, going outside like he's WrestleMania, going to various podcasts, saying to JD Vance, "My husband is irreplaceable," but I see a lot of him in JD Vance rubbing her head and the tie.
That was so bad. That was so bad. I was gonna make some content on that, but I don't even know if I should. But yeah, the hair, the like grabbing the back of the neck was a bit much.
It's crazy.
It's respectfully, Leonardo DiCaprio died on the Titanic. Rose will get another man in a week. She cheated on the guy with the Leonardo DiCaprio. She will cheat on Leonardo DiCaprio with another.
Say your other one.
The point is this: a lot of women say they want protectors, but like I say, you'll never know what a woman would do until she's actually in the actual situation. Period.
True. But the Titanic.
I'm not leaving my husband if he gets cowed, and I know it's frustrating.
But he's saying he don't know. But he just saying we don't know though.
But
I know
he ended up a vegetable. So if your husband was a vegetable, you know uncertainty that you'll be able to deal with that for the rest of your life. I can't say you wouldn't, but the situation had presented itself, so you can't say you would. It's like I got a homegirl whose husband just had a stroke, and that she already in the streets.
Okay, so there's an example that I think I would probably be like if we're using the vegetable term, Blu-ray. Now, y'all remember, I can't remember what that guy's name was, but his wife ended up with like dementia or Alzheimer's, and she was
you're talking about the Notebook?
No.
I know.
No, this was actually a black man and his wife. Y'all help me out in the chat. It was a black man and his wife. His wife was actually, I think she was a renowned author or movie writer, but she ended up getting like Alzheimer's or something. And he ended up, I think her name starts with B. I can't remember. I'll look it up while we're talking, but he ended up moving his lover in the house, and they were taking care of her together. And the wife,
I think I remember that story too.
She wasn't herself anymore, but he couldn't leave her, but she was clearly gone. But she wasn't brain dead. It's weird, right? Like she was still living, breathing, talking, walking, eating. They were living in the house, but she didn't know that was her husband anymore. And he needed to move on, but he didn't want to leave her in a home or anywhere else. I think her name was B. Smith or
somebody saying like, B. Smith.
But yeah, I couldn't leave him. I wouldn't put him in a home, y'all. I would just have to suffer through it. I was raised Catholic, so we're fine with suffering. You know, we will suffer to get to the other end, and then at least I can have my integrity when I get there.
And all Blu-ray is saying that you may be that woman, and we'll never know. But you may, because I'll say the same thing too. But most women are leaving their men when they're healthy, so we doubt they'll stay with them when something happened to them. That's why. That's all we're saying. They leaving when the man healthy.
Get
so
it. I'm sorry. I don't want y'all to all think that every woman would just freaking leave y'all when it gets hard.
No, you have to. No. If you're raising sons, you have to prepare men for that. That's what might happen. We're not saying everyone will do that, but most part will. We have to be realistic. If most men out here putting their hands on women, we need to make people aware of that and be realistic.
Of course.
Hey, I'll never put my hands on a woman, but most men are. I'll be like, brother, I may not trust you because most men are putting their hands on women. So we wouldn't want to mislead our men. If this is what's happening in society, we have to prepare men. Hey, she might not do it to you. And there might be some women they may not, but majority will. Just be prepared. You know, just be aware. You would want to teach your sons to be prepared. You know,
it's like we say that most women, as soon as you lose your job, you have like a clock, and if you actually don't get back to that hour, she's probably going to leave
6
you.
months.
If women are leaving you because you lost your job, imagine if you become paraplegic and that
lost your leg.
If that comes with a check, maybe she stays because the provision's still there. She now has an incentive to take. No, it's true. Like a lot of these women that actually are taking care of the person they're with is because
They get disability. He's right. He get disability
comes
check.
with the check. Like I don't have to leave you. I will take care of you and bathe you and all that. This is going to be my work. We pay the bills with that check, and then I'll fuck Tyrone in the morning when you go to the like that's the but that's life. That's
I've seen it.
I actually have respect for that. What I don't have respect is your man try to defend you, like his grave still hot, the body is still a little bit like it didn't even decompose, and you are already looking for the replacement. You are not mourning the dude. I know everybody mourns in different ways, but bro, if there's an afterlife and your husband is a ghost, and if Charlie Kirk is going around and watching this shit, he like, damn, y'all really didn't fuck with me, bro. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, man. I see people go in state of depression because they lose their dog, and you lost your husband in front everybody, like and you are kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Bulway, salute to you, my brother. Thank you very much for being here. The lovely Raquel. Thank you very much, Raquel.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Don't worry, I'll take your stream off as soon as we're done with you, but I'm going to kick you out of the show. Great show. I appreciate y'all. But y'all need to go.
This is Sparta!
Great show, sir. Great panel. Great panel. Great panel. But we have to read the super chat.
Buckle up, everyone. It's time for some super chats.
Let me go at Q. The old one says, accepting truth or being compelled, rock bottom, are typically what causes one to change. One is typically changes the art, and the other is a toss-up. 100% agree, sir. Thank you very much for the super. We have my boy Shadowrunner TV in the building. $2 says, close the doors, Bishop Marvin Sepp. Hallelujah.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you very much, Chad Dragon. Zero Fallout is back again and says, Churchwoman is a final form of a 304 life cycle. It's over. Thank you very much. We have my boy Ilkan, Tony Golden offering Ilkan Ali an untouchable membership.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Thank you very much, Tony. Jaquin says, Andrew won the debate. Based on technical, like this is what I believe too. Based on technicalities, however, I do think CJ has much more accurate view of the current dating reality. Andrew is my boy, but he is out of pocket, out of touch on this one. I think this is 100% my opinion too. Juan Solo with a $5 saying, I won't listen to someone who's married, a two-time loser about marriage. To me, that looks like a desperate move. I see why Andrew smokes so much. Damn, that man can't be smoking cigarettes. The man have a stressful life. Come on, man. Let's not jump into conclusions. We have from downtown. He says, appreciate my smell the roses membership. From downtown, Luka Doncic fucking shit up. Shout out to my Lakers. Red Pill Ranger. No, sorry. Wrong Red Pill. Red Real Creep says, what up, family? Love the panel. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much for pulling up. We have Jaquin says, the only way Andrew's solution work if religion is prevalent again. That's the issue with the premise. To solve a problem, the solution has to work for the majority. Can be too many aspects. Again, very concise. We have Frederick Howard gifting roses a membership.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Thank you very much. We have my boy Red Pill Creep coming back saying much love to the untouchable brother.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
And we have Twisted Pup, aka Car Connoisseur, pulling up with our 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much, brother. Finally, Smell the Roses with a donation. We appreciate you, Rose. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Friends, I appreciate you. I'm going to leave you with some little music. You can find all the songs of the show on Patreon. Yes, the songs of every show are going to be on Patreon. So go ahead. If you want to download them, go ahead and find them there. Ilkanal, you want to say something before we go?
Nah, man, great show, man. Great panelists. Hey, thank y'all for the ongoing support, man. The chat, the people who've been rocking it with us for the beginning, man. Thank you always for the support, man. Honestly, man, we'd be nothing without y'all. So I truly appreciate the panelists, the people who came through in the chat, and all our newcomers as well, too, man. Much love to y'all. We trying to get to everybody. We see you saying something. Fatty way better than me. I feel really bad about it. He's way better at communicating with the people. And I used to be that good too. I'm gonna get back on as well too. When you come through and you say something, I'm gonna try to make sure I respond to all of y'all. So much love from all of us, man. We truly appreciate and respect y'all and value everybody, whether we agree with you or not, as long as you ain't disrespecting us.
Thank you very much, friends, and I see you on Sunday. Team Fatty, Ilkan Ali, and the Untouchables. Signing out. Peace.
Reality versus what if? Body food back. Untouchables in the building. Truth, it's hard. Faith on the left, logic on the right. Tonight we find out who's wrong or who's right. They say put the ring on, build a life on a vow, but reality don't match the dream somehow. Families break, courts take, men wake up with half their soul at stake. Coach said don't jump in that fire. Wilson said God's still higher. Both preaching truth, both wired, but the middle ground's getting tired. In a world that profits when love goes blind, every promise got a price behind. So tell me what's the plan, what's the fix? Faith or facts, code or tricks? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. You're the Mormons, make it work in that town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. You're the Mormons, make it work in that town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Yeah. Super panel got the truth unzipped. Untouchable empire, no script. It's love, faith, money, and risk. Reality versus what if? They say go back to the church, go home, but the algorithm already took the throne. Small towns win, big cities bleed. Tradition's a dream and nobody leaves. Faith versus logic, clash of the creed. One says build, the other says leave. But every side's got ghosts to grieve. No one's clean, no one's free. You can't fix hearts with hashtags. You can't say love with flashbacks. Every side talks truth and then stats, but who's living what they preach in their chats? Reality versus what if, who's right, who's bluffing? Marriage ain't dead, it's just buffering. You're the Mormons, make it work in their town, but can that be scaled when the system's down? Reality versus what if, who's real, who's ripped? And every solution got a twist pending. Untouchable empire, no cap, no myth. Super panel, we live this.